Hi. Yes. Bada boom. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Fringe FM, coming at you live from the middle of nowhere, the center of everywhere, here once again to give you yet another scrumptious dose of conversational boogie. This is Shift Happens. Yeah, welcome back, folks. We're going to have some fun tonight. And what's up, everybody in the chat room? Dragon Rose, Elfman, MJ, and whoever else is over here in the other chat room. Oh, that's the elf with a sad face over there. Right on. What's happening, folks? Good Friday to you. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. And Bob Tuscan, you ask this question every single week. Yes, this is live. It is absolutely live. I'm not sure how you would figure otherwise. But yes, absolutely live, my friend. Absolutely live. And yeah, if it's Friday and it's after 7, we are live, my friend. That's as simple as it gets. So, there you go. So, yeah, I guess, you never know. Every once in a while we cancel the show. That's true. But, if you see the chat going, that's a pretty good indicator as well. But anyway, welcome, folks. And, so tonight, Brad Harris is off visiting his family in Washington. Not quite able to join the show tonight. And also JP is on the road. So he might be calling in at some point. But he's not here now. So right now, that's right, Elfman. You're stuck with me. Me and my blabbering mouth. Absolutely. So, but we do have a special guest tonight. We'll get to that guest in just a little bit. But before we do, so here's what's happening tonight. It's another edition of Talking Shift, which is basically just our version of Open Lines. So any of you guys can call in at any time. In fact, I'm going to post. I'm going to, I guess post is the right word, huh? Post the call-in number in the chat room right now. And there you go. Now, unfortunately, so the Fringe FM has the call-in system back. I'm so excited. But I don't have access to it yet. So we're not using that tonight. We're using Skype, which means when you call in, you're going to hear that classic annoying and that's just going to jolt all of our ears, and there's nothing I can do about that because Skype sucks. And there used to be an option to mute that, and there no longer is. So that's how that's going to work tonight. And so I just put the call-in number in the chat room there. I'll go ahead and announce it on the air. The call-in number is 928-208-4464. Again, that's 928-208-4464, and we'll give that out again. That's yeah, I know, Dragon Rose. I believe you me. I wish we could use something other than Skype, but we have to. And yeah, Scott, you can call in anytime, my friend. What's up, the rocker? And but I will tell you what, if you're gonna call in, and this goes for everybody, if you know me on Skype, just Skype in, because that way it saves me money. If you call in on the phone, I actually have to pay a little bit of money for that. So, and I know there's a few people that might call in tonight that are connected with me on Skype. So make sure to use Skype instead of the call-in number. But if you don't know me on Skype, which is most of you, then yeah, feel free to use the call-in number. That's why it's there. And so there you go. And yeah, Scott, feel free to call in anytime whatsoever, my friend. And if it's open lines all night, so you don't even need to have a question. You don't need to have anything planned. If you just want to hang out, just call in and just say, hey, I don't have anything to say. I just want to hang out. And then you're good to go. You're good to go here on Shift Happens. That's how we roll over here. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and introduce... actually, hold on. Before we do that... Actually, no. I've got a couple of news things I want to cover. But I think I want to bring in the guest first. So, our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know her from Escape the Simulation on the Fringe FM. And she does the news. Or at least she did.
I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Jess Rogie. What's happening, Jess?
What is up, Gigi? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Awesome. How are you tonight?
Just awful.
Aww.
What else did you expect?
I expected you to say, like, I'm doing great, Jess. The weather's great. I'm super happy.
Dude, the weather is way too hot, and but I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. But yeah, 101 degrees today, plus the humidity of Texas, equals not going outside, basically.
Yeah, we're not there. It's 77 right now. It's sunny, and it's warm, but it's not humid, so I don't feel that humidity, that heaviness, that... Oh, man. No, summer is here. It is here.
Damn, I would... 77.
That's 77.
That's a nice day compared to what's going on over here. It's just,
Jeez,
90. It's just unbearable.
Would you say it was 99? 97?
101.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And that's not counting the humidity. If you count the humidity, the heat temperature index is like 114 or something like that. Like, it's stupid. Yeah.
Horrible. Horrible.
Absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I escaped Texas for quite a few years there, but I always managed to get sucked back into Texas. Hey, what's up, Russ Bailey?
Russ Bailey!
Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, Russ, if you want to call in, man, feel free to call in. I know you've got work tomorrow and all that good stuff, but if you want to hang out for a little bit on the show, feel free to call in, my friend. And I think we're doing, speaking of which, I'm not entirely sure. Russ, maybe you know more than I do. I think we're doing a Midnight Blend tomorrow, and we're doing I know for a fact we're doing Pulp Addicts Pod on Monday. I know that. But we might be doing Midnight Blend on Saturday. I'm not sure. But, so stick around for that, folks. If you want updates on all that stuff, just follow us on Twitter over at Shift Happens Pod. And, okay, Russ says we are. All right, so we are doing the Midnight Blend on Saturday. So for updates to that, just follow us on Twitter at Shift Happens Pod. Also, really just go to shifthappensradio.com. We've got all of our social media links there. The Twitter link is there. And just get there while you can status. And make sure to follow us. We go live. Let's see, what time do we go live on Saturday? That'll be 8 o'clock Pacific on Saturday. And then on Monday for Pulp Addicts Pod, it'll be 7 o'clock Pacific, I believe. Although I could be totally wrong about all of that. See? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, the caller keeps hanging up all by themselves.
Well, there it is.
Oh, wait. No, we got him. We got him. Okay, area code 304. Who's on the line?
It's your friendly neighborhood, Russ Bailey. What's up?
Yeah! What's happening, Russ?
Well, honestly, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm actually getting ready to go to the Wistful, Virginia UFO conference tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Nice. That ought to be fun.
Yeah, can't wait. This all a lot of this happened years ago. It was 1987, and there were some like major UFO sightings in Wistful, Virginia, which is like 30 minutes south of where I'm at. And I actually had a UFO sighting at the time, back in '87, and it was actually featured on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Really?
And one of the witnesses is going to be at the conference tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to talking with him and everything. But a lot of years ago, like I said, back in '87, there was huge UFO sightings down in Whistle, like multiple, over the span of several months, starting in October. So, and of course, the government denied it and everything. But if you guys get a chance, check out the Wistful UFO episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Very interesting case from 1987.
Wow. Yeah,
Nice.
I used to, and you're talking about the original Unsolved Mysteries, not this reboot that they're doing, right?
That is correct. Yes, with Robert Stack himself.
Awesome.
I wonder what that guy's doing. Is he still alive?
He's pushing up daisies right now, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I must have missed that news.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I miss Robert Stack because, one, Unsolved Mysteries, but he was also the voice of Ultra Magnus in Transformers the movie.
Ah.
Yeah, I did know that. I did not know that.
See, I also did not know that.
Yeah.
Who else is at this conference, Russ?
And
Let
how
me
many
bring it up.
days
Hang
is
on
it?
just a second. It's one day. I do know that my good friends Ron Lanham and Joe Perdue from Wild and Weird West Virginia are going to be on there, which you guys seriously need to get them on your show. Those guys are awesome. I mean, they are the real deal. Joe Perdue is really into the cryptid side of things. And you also have, of course, Ron Lanham from the UFO side of things. I met these two guys at the Beckley, West Virginia Paranormal Convention back in March. Really cool. We've also got Dave Spinks talking about Appalachian UFO cases. Paul
nice.
Dellinger, UFOs and science fiction. Of course, Ron Lanham and Joe Perdue from UFOs and Related Phenomena. Sean Cott, the Wistful UFO documentary trailer, and Danny Gordon, who was the DJ at the local radio station that first took the calls of the UFO sightings and everything that happened and transpired back in 1987. And the cool part is, man, it's like it was almost like a Men in Black individual showed up at his house, and he had pictures and film missing of the UFOs itself, and it's just a fascinating story. You really need to watch that episode on YouTube of the Wistful UFO case on Unsolved Mysteries. It's kind of a lost UFO case. You don't hear much about it, but it's definitely one of my favorite in the history of ufology.
What? Okay, I have to check it out. I don't want to ask you about it because I'd like to find out. But It sounds like an interesting case, and I always like those lesser known cases.
And don't they have
Yeah.
the archives of the original Unsolved Mysteries? Isn't that somewhere? Can you stream that now or not?
You can on Peacock.
Peacock, yeah. I'll tell you what, man. Talk about a little the little car that could. Peacock's got some good stuff on there, man. And,
It does.
They do.
Yeah, it's not that bad of a deal. And yeah, so I might have to try to search that and check that out. Now, real quick, so Dragon Rose asks in the chat room if anybody's going to the Integrative Wellness Expo this weekend in Vegas. She mentions Jeff Rennell and Brent Bowman. Although I don't know Brent. Yeah, I was just talking with Jeff earlier today, and I know for a fact he's there. So, yeah, definitely go meet Jeff. Go hang out with him. He'll introduce you to everybody you want to know. And that ought to be a really good time. Yeah, so I guess there's multiple conferences going down this weekend. And
Oh, man.
speaking of which, I mean, because you went to a conference recently as well, Russ. Like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago?
I did. I went to the Beckley, West Virginia Paranormal Convention. That's where I met Ron Lanham and Joe Purdue of West Virginia, Wild and Weird West Virginia. Really cool channel. You need to check those guys out.
Yes.
Really cool convention. Met Chris Sumner of the historic Scott County Jail. And we also met at EnigmaCon down at St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. We got to meet Miranda Young of
Yay.
Ghost Biker Explorations, which she's been on Jess's show several times.
Yeah, she was on just like, not last week, but because the week before she was on.
Yep. And by the way, Jess, congratulations on your new time slot and 5 nights a week. Congratulations on your show. That's a well-deserved accomplishment.
Thank you, Russ. And if you are ever up late on a Friday and you don't have to work on Saturday, come on.
I
Come on.
definitely will.
Let me know if you ever
I
have.
usually work on, yeah. I usually work on Saturdays, but sometimes I can swing the occasional Saturday off. So I'll definitely let you know. That'd be awesome.
Let me know. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, and yeah, definitely congratulations to Jess.
Thank you both. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely awesome, and a very daunting task that I would not take on. That's for sure. But Godspeed to you. And
Thank you.
And also, real quick, I'll just take this moment to remind everybody. Apparently, we're number 2 on TalkStream Live, so I guess there's a lot of people
you.
listening. So if you guys want to join I always forget to plug the chat rooms. That's why I'm doing this right now. So there's 2 chat rooms. The main, honestly, the main chat room is over at Spreaker. The quickest way to get there is go to shifthappensradio.com and just look at the episode player. In the middle of the home page, there's a little text icon. You just click that, and then bam, you can sign up right there and get in the chat room. And then also we have the Fringe FM Discord channel.
Discord is popping.
Yeah, which not only serves as a chat room for this show, but it serves as a chat room for all of the Fringe FM shows. And even when there's not a show, it's live 24/7, 365, people hanging out there all the time, sharing news, sharing information, hanging out, talking smack, whatever you want. It's all right there. And the quickest way to get there is just go to www.fringe.fm/chat. Type that in, and you get an automatic invite into the Fringe FM Discord. So there you go, my friends. Definitely do that. Yeah, we've got people hanging out in both chat rooms as usual. And so there you go. Luckily, I have 2 screens to keep up with all this. But yeah, I was going to say, Russ, it's cool that you guys are getting conferences out there now, because for the longest time, usually conferences only happen on the West Coast. You know, like
Right.
maybe like we definitely get a few in Arizona, but as far as the ones that like all the people like, how do I say this properly? Like as far as the big conferences, you know, they're usually in either LA or San Francisco or Joshua Tree or Palm Springs, you know, somewhere in that general area. And usually the East Coast gets left out, but it sounds like you've had a couple of cool conferences to go to recently.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very fortunate to get the time off of work and be able to go. I mean, it's something that's needed here in this part of the country because there's so much, folklore, UFO sightings. There's a lot of UFO sightings in Appalachia. I mean, just, a couple of hours from me, you have Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which is, the site of the infamous Kentucky Goblins that
Yeah.
invaded the farmhouse years ago. A couple hours south of me, you have Brown Mountain, North Carolina, which is home of the Brown Mountain Lights, which, we don't know if that's a ghost light or if it's UFO activity. I tend to lean more towards UFO activity with the ghost lights. I mean, there's just so many great places to investigate. There's St. Albans Sanatorium, Radford, Virginia, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. You got the West Virginia State Penitentiary in Moundsville. And I can be at Bobby Mackey's in about 4 to 5 hours from my house in Kentucky. So that's on my bucket list also. And, not to mention there's a little place called Waverly Hills that's close by me, 5 or 6 hours. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Waverly Hills Sanatorium or not.
I've heard of it.
I don't think I have.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it on Ghost Adventures before.
Yeah, possibly one of the most haunted locations in the East. Waverly Hills. It's pretty wild location. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is also very haunted. I've actually investigated there.
Ooh.
And we experienced a lot of activity there. We also experienced equipment malfunctions that Katrina Weidman, when she was on Paranormal Lockdown, she experienced that a lot. With equipment malfunctions, cameras going dead, everything like that. But, we see all these, famous places, but honestly, the best places to investigate are places where people haven't really investigated there much. A few years ago, we did an investigation along with Argos Paranormal at the Apollo Theater in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and it was like an old, theater. They do plays at it and everything like that, reenactions, concerts. Man, not the biggest venue, but definitely one of the most active venues I've ever been to. It was just an amazing investigation.
Are you investigating anywhere soon?
Well, due to the recent influx of gas prices,
That's true.
I probably will be holding off till probably the fall of the year to investigate, because the way gas prices are with summer blends, and it's like, it's not as high as California,
Yes.
but it's high here. I drive a full-size truck, so $50 doesn't go very long way in a full-size truck with these gas prices.
Horrible.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hello?
And hello, caller. Before we get to you, we do have to run to a commercial break. So, Russ, if you want to stay on and hang out, you're more than welcome. But if you got a boogie, that's all cool too. Feel free to stay right there. And either way, and new caller, we will get to you as soon as we get back. But we do have to take a commercial break. right this very now. So I'm going to mute all of us, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM. I'm your host, Gigi, and we're here joined tonight by fellow Fringe FM colleague, Jess Rogie, and we're doing open lines all night long. We've already got 2 callers on the line, and we'll get right back to them as soon as we come back from this very short commercially break. All right, folks, don't go anywhere.
Listen, as we explore the mysteries of the universe, the unknown, high strangeness, consciousness, and our human potential. Lighting the Void is an eclectic program that strives to ignite the late night with stimulating conversations. Join us on the Fringe FM.
Yohoy there, it's Gigi from Shift Happens, and you're listening to the one and only Fringe FM. Well, at least I'd imagine so. I'm not sure how else, you'd be hearing this.
Musicians experience a lot of frustration with music marketing and promotion. They have no idea how to get their music heard, and they're spending hours sending emails, making phone calls, and hitting up their friends to promote them. With our industry-powered digital marketing platform, we can set up your media plan in minutes. Our team will automatically distribute your music across all the best channels, so you can focus on actually making the music. Submit your music today on our website at mymusicpromoter.com. That's mymusicpromoter.com.
My name is Alex Exum, and you're listening to The Fringe FM.
Are you avoiding the media? I don't blame you. Hi, I'm Jess Rogie, and it's my job to sift through the BS to find you the best in Fringe news. Listen to the Rogie Report news here on the Fringe FM, KTLK Digital Broadcasting. The truth is out there, and so are we.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Have you suffered in silence or experienced stress from a paranormal experience? Even if it happened 20 years ago, when thinking or talking about it today still makes you feel sick to your stomach or makes your heart beat faster, or you suddenly can't breathe. Maybe you even feel those old familiar signs of a panic attack trying to reach the surface. You could have unprocessed emotional responses. Those reactions of terror and trauma are no different than living through a horrible assault, childhood abuse, or a terrible car accident. It can be nearly impossible to find help. The very instance of seeing a ghost or encountering a cryptid could be clinically described as seeing or hearing things that aren't there. You could be considered psychotic, or at best, you're just not taken seriously. Out of a growing mountain of research, the National Institute for Integrative Healthcare showed that 8 out of 10 veterans who completed just 6 one-hour EFT sessions no longer tested positive for PTSD. If you've had paranormal trauma, you can contact Metaphorical Archaeology by calling 214-995-3754. Again, that's 214-995-3754 for a discreet consultation. Thousands of people are having paranormal experiences with ghosts, demons, shadow people, dogmen, Bigfoot, and more. Their stories need to be told, and they are being told. Dark Waters, a renowned storyteller, invites you to join at IamDarkWaters.com. For just a few dollars a month, you can listen to some of the most hair-raising and compelling stories on the planet. You'll have access to real-life stories told by Dark Waters, thousands of hours of content. Their encounters are being told, and told by the best, at IamDarkWaters.com. Listen to stories like the Rabbit Man, the Dogman encounter in Silas, Alabama, the Man with No Face, The Other Woman, A Day Ahead of the Devil, Dogman Murder and Hurricane Ida, even a story of someone trying to kill a dogman. Louisiana Water Demon Stories. Sign up today and become a member at IamDarkWaters.com. That's IamDarkWaters.com.
I came to LA to make rock and roll. Along the way I had to sell my soul. I made some good friends that make me say I really wanna be in LA. I took the 10 to get to Beverly, laid some rock to tape, roll out 180. Alan and Natasha always make me say I really wanna be in LA.
And we're back. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen.
Just a second.
Oh my goodness, my cat is destroying my headphone cables. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shift Happens here for the French FM. I am your host, Gigi, and tonight we are doing Talking Shift with our special guest, Jess Rogie. What's happening, Jess?
Hey, Gigi. Oh, do you have a little echo? I hope not.
No echo over here. Do you got an echo?
Maybe it's stopped. Seems fine.
All right, well, let's see, because we do have... So we had Russ on the call, and he switched over to Skype. Russ, are you using a set of headphones? Calling all Russ.
Russ is muted. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, now he's unmuted. Are you there, Russ?
There's Russ.
I can see him.
I can't wave to Russ because my camera's not working.
Russ, can you hear us? Russell.
I can see Russ.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Russ, go ahead and if this isn't working, you can just call back in.
We can hear that though. It sounds like
yeah, we can hear Russ. Here, let's real quick.
I hear. Yes. Are you messing? No.
Yeah, gotta love.
Can you hear us? Can they? They can hear us though, right?
Oh yeah, everybody can hear this mishap that's happening. Yes.
He says he can't hear us.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Okay. Just tell him to do that. And finally got my cat off of my cable. Thank God. And, well, I'll tell you what, Russ, while you figure that out, well, he can't hear us. So, here, I'll tell you what. All right. We'll just have him call back into the phone. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and go to our other caller, area code 213. Who art thou and how dare you? That's you, 213. Uh-oh. It looks like he's talking, they're talking, but we can't. Wow, maybe this is... Are you there, Jess? Jessica. Oh, boy. Okay, something's going wrong here.
All right, I can hear you now.
Okay, well, now we got Russ. What happened to Jess? I don't know. And what happened to the caller?
She may be taking a break, man.
She was just right here. You know, you never know with all this live radio stuff. Things happen. But, yeah, good to have you on, Russ, again. And sounds much better now through the computer.
Most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think? Have you ever thought about coming out to, like, you know, the Conscious Life Expo or Contact in the Desert? Do you think maybe you can come out to Conscious Life Expo next year? Because we'd have one hell of a good time, my friend.
Yeah, I agree. I'd definitely like to if I could get away from work. That's the big problem, as always. But start saving those pennies now, man, and you know, try to make it out next year. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, man. Plus, I could probably, you know, if it comes down to it, I could probably get you a free pass, my friend. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I said that. But I can get you a free pass. On. Yeah.
Right on.
You might have to do a little bit of work. But
can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you back now.
You.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, we have you, Jess.
Okay, good. No, I was just making sure everything sounds okay.
But we did lose our caller, whoever the caller was. They dropped out. So, feel free to call back, caller, if you're listening to this, and we'll get you right on in here. Absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to Midnight Blend tomorrow night. I will give you guys an update of what all went down at the Withful UFO conference tomorrow night. And, man, just can't wait for tomorrow. You know, Pulp Addicts on Monday.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there's a lot of great things in the works with Beyond the Strange right now, man. A lot of great people that's getting ready to come on.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, it might not be till later this year, but at some, you know, because we've been talking a lot about really, you know, letting the rubber meet the road when it comes to Pulp Addicts Pod, and we're going to start doing that heavy, you know, like every single week, same crew, same time, every day, and get that really going. And because a lot of people don't know about Pulp Addicts Pod, you know, because we don't do it it's not consistent, you know, we just kind of do it randomly. But once, you know, everybody, you know, once we all get situated, we're going to start doing that very regularly. And that show is so much fun because, I mean, don't get me wrong, these shows are fun too, you know, talking about conspiracies and UFOs and lost civilizations and whatnot, but it's also fun to just geek out and just be dorks for a couple hours. That's a lot of fun to me. And I feel blessed to be a part of that show. I love that show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're blessed to have you, man. I mean, it's, you know, me, you, Dave, I mean, Jess, JP, Jeff Rennell, man, it's a great Night Stalker. It's
Night
a great
Stalker, absolutely.
Brother and sisterhood. And Dave Cruz is texting me as we speak. Dave needs to, I told him to Skype on in with us.
Yeah, you know, I was going to ask him earlier, but I know his schedule. Like, I know he's busy, so I didn't even ask. But yeah, if he wants to call in, that would be so much fun also, to have the whole crew on there. Yeah, there we go.
Always great to hear from Dave, man. I mean, he is my mentor.
Yeah. So are you guys doing Beyond the Strange on Sunday?
I don't think we're doing Beyond the Strange. We may be, possibly. Still waiting to hear from back from Dave. He's driving now currently, so we might jump on a little bit for some open lines, man. I'd be down for that for a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you guys don't really do open lines very often. That's not really a thing that's happened at least in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, we had recently had a guest on. His name was Josh Chairs, and he's with Phantom Detectives. And just confirmed with Dave, we are having Susan Astro Lunatic on Sunday night for astrology readings, so that's going to be really awesome too. But anyway, back to Josh. He's with Phantom Detectives. He's working on getting Dark Matter news and everything. Very highly influenced by Art Bell, which, a lot of us are. Art Bell is the pioneer of paranormal radio, so to speak. But man, what investigations he's been having also with Phantom Detectives. It's just been amazing watching his work and everything.
Yeah. And man, have you been watching? Have you checked out the first half of season 4 of Stranger Things?
I have not. I'm actually on season 1 of Stranger Things, so I haven't finished it yet. But I'm kind of hooked. It's a really good show so far.
Oh, dude! So how many episodes in are you?
I'm on the last episode of season 1.
Okay, so you're pretty much okay. Yeah, so you kind of got a gist of what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. The Upside Down is kind of cool, man. I have to say, be an interesting place to visit, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, I'm impressed with the quality of the acting, because they rely on a lot of the kids, and man, they do a really good job. They do a really good job.
They do.
Especially, you'll see more in season 2. Well, it's not really a spoiler, but Will has, because Will is kind of, he's gone most of season 1. But
right.
But he comes back in season 2. He has a really good role. And, really impressed. And just a really good show. A really good show.
It is. And speaking of really good shows, Ben Hansen released today that UFO Witness is going to be season 2 is coming out on June 21st on Discovery Plus. And if you haven't watched UFO Witness, you're really missing out, man. That show is amazing. Great UFO documentaries every week from that show.
Where do you catch that?
Discovery Plus.
Oh, that's right. You just said that. Yeah. And
it's all good, man.
Yeah, I was just battling my cat over my headphones for a second there. She just loves to ruin anything I'm doing at all given times.
Yeah, my cat loves to just take a bite out of me all the time, man. Aww. He's always biting and scratching and everything. But I wouldn't change him for the world, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, same here, dude. I've got all kinds of cuts and scars all over both of my wrists and hands, and honestly, I just need to trim my cat's nails. I think is probably the main thing, because she's because if you think if a cat wanted to mess you up, they could really mess you up.
Yes, sir.
So if they're just barely leaving a scratch, they're obviously just playing.
Yeah. 100%. And he follows me everywhere I go. I mean, he's like a child, man. Like having a kid around the house. He's really cool.
He's cute. He's a really cute cat.
Yeah, I forgot what's his name again.
His name is Connard. He was named after. There's a documentary called Hellier, that the Greg and Dana Newkirk did several years ago. And one of the alien-like characters in it, his name is Connard. I thought it was a funny name, so I just stuck it on my cat.
Nice. All right,
Very
so
cute.
we're giving out the call-in number again. Again, that's just put it in the speaker chat room. I'll get to putting it in the Fringe FM Discord in a second. But the call-in number is 928-208-4464. Again, that's 928-208-4464. And Joe was wondering what all those noises are.
Yeah, that's why I went to go check and make sure it wasn't anything on computer's end.
Those noises are... How about this, Joe? Those noises are Skype, because we have to use Skype instead of using the badass calling system that you have. So if you want to get rid of those noises, let me use that system. And we'll be good to go, my friends. But yeah, as of now, though, the call-in number is still 928-208-4464. But again, if you want to... if you want to call in and you've already talked to me before on Skype, make sure to just Skype in, because that'll just be a lot easier. And plus, your sound quality will be better, and it'll save me some money. So it's a win-win-win for me, and pretty much a win for you. Just go ahead and Skype in. And there you go. And we'll leave the phone lines open all night long, as we do for every Talking Shift edition. And so there you have it. And so NASA announced either today or yesterday that they're launching their own UAP study team, as they quoted it. NASA is finally getting into the ring and starting to research UFOs and stuff. But, however, guess what their budget is?
$50 million.
Not even close. Way
Lower?
overboard. Yeah, it's
$12 million.
hilariously embarrassing.
$1 million.
Give a guess.
100,000.
You're right. It's literally 100,000. Wow, 100,000. That's enough to buy everybody coffee for 6 months. You know?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
Well, they say it's 100,000, but is it really 100,000? I'd say it would be probably more than that, more than likely. But honestly, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. With all these congressional hearings and all these, UAP disclosures, so to speak, I mean, we're hearing from the Navy like nonstop, but I want to hear from the Air Force. What's their take on all these? Because should they not be the ones that's investigating this?
It is interesting, right, that we don't hear a lot from people from the Air Force. We do hear a lot of Navy personnel talk about it, but not a lot of Air Force. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Maybe they're not allowed to talk about it.
Probably not. I did see on Facebook the other day that Jeremy Corbell was hanging out with George Knapp again. So maybe some more news is coming down the pipeline. Corbell did mention a few months ago that there will be footage released of a Phoenix Lights type scenario over top of a military base on U.S. soil. So that could be kind of interesting.
Would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like there's some stuff going on. Who knows what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. That's very true. And it's a great time to be investigating UFOs and UAPs and all the craziness that's going on in the world, because I think we're very, very close to disclosure. But one thing I've always thought too, if we do get full disclosure, could you imagine the impact it would have on world religions?
Well, the Vatican has already adjusted their beliefs. They did that several years ago. They came out and, the guy, he came out and announced, he was like, yeah, there could be aliens. Yeah,
you mean the Pope?
Yeah. And, the Pope actually addressed that at a certain point. And so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I think it's... and plus, another interesting thing that just went down is, whether you like Joe Rogan or not, Michio Kaku was just on his show and talks quite... Michio Kaku used to be featured on documentaries as the opposition to UFOs. And now he's totally flipped his verse, and now he's talking about UFOs on not only A Tear in the Sky, which is Caroline Corey's latest documentary, but on things like the Joe Rogan podcast. And so it's really interesting to see the seas change, so to speak, towards these new revelations. But I wonder, I don't know, I can't help but think that there's some effery afoot,
Of course.
Yeah. As always.
Because which is kind of Stephen Greer's main thing, is his whole message is, don't listen to the government. They're trying to make you think that aliens are a threat when they're really not, which, especially if you watch the congressional hearings, that's kind of the main topic of focus is, how much of a threat are these things when, let's face it, beings with this kind of technology that are this far advanced from us, if they wanted us dead, we would be dead already. And
I often think that as well. They could ruin humanity if they wanted to, and if they've been around this whole time, then what's changed? They could have taken us out any time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. And the worst that they've done is deactivate nuclear missiles. That's like the opposite of a threat. That's protecting us from ourselves.
Right. Have you watched A Tear in the Sky yet?
I have not. I haven't
either.
I have not. You have to pay to rent that, from what I understand. I'm not going to pay to rent it.
Well, I'll pay to rent it. I just haven't got around to doing it. But what I did watch is the brand new documentary from Billy Carson, The Black Knight Satellite.
Yeah, that just came out recently, didn't it?
Yeah, it's on forbiddenknowledge.tv, and really cool documentary. It's not too long; it's only an hour, and it makes all the points, and a lot of good guests on there. Richard Dolan, Jimmy Church, several really good people. Johnny Enoch, a lot of good folks, a lot of good opinions on there, and it's one of those ones where you have to watch it twice. The first time you watch it, just half the information just whoosh, goes right over your head. And you have to kind of watch it twice because they get really technical about what could be possibly going on with that. I definitely recommend that. Also, I just recommend Forbidden Knowledge TV in general. I mean, there's so much good stuff on there. And
is it free?
No, it's like, I don't know, it's like $5 or $6 a month. But it's basically it's like Netflix, but for us, it's like a Netflix for this community, like all these different documentaries and movies and videos and clips about UFOs, conspiracies, spirituality, lost civilizations. It's all over there. And just to be clear, that's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4. So it's the number 4 and then biddenknowledge.tv.
Promo code GG.
Yeah, we're gonna have a promo code in a couple of weeks, but we don't have one yet. But yeah, if you get a chance, tell them I told you about it.
Awesome.
Good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I saw Jimmy was at the red carpet premiere the other night with Billy Carson and everything.
Yeah, they did the whole Hollywood thing for it too. Yeah.
Really cool. And from what I hear, him and Jimmy are going to Egypt in October, is it?
In October, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can sign up for that. That's at forbiddenknowledge.com if you want to sign up for that. And cool. I'm not going to lie, pretty expensive. I'm not going.
I was going to ask, are you going?
No, I'm not. I wish I could, but at least not yet. I mean, I don't know. We're actually going to have Billy on in because next week we're actually going to have Michael Strange on the show for the first time.
Oh wow, nice!
Right on.
So that'll be fun. And then the following week we're going to have Billy Carson on. So we'll be asking him all these questions in a couple weeks from now. So there you go. And yeah, and once again the phone lines are still open. And Daryl says, love Johnny Enoch. Yes, I love Johnny Enoch as well. Absolutely. One of the best. In fact, if I might recommend, yeah, it's just about break time. In fact, it's a little bit past. But real quick, I'm going to give out the call-in number out into the chat room. And to all of you listening over the airwaves, that call-in number is 928-208-4464. Again, that's 928-208-4464. And yeah, with that, let's go ahead and take our next commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM. I'm your host, Gigi, and we are here tonight doing Talking Shift Open Lines. We're joined tonight with our special surprise guest, Jess Rogie, and we're also here with Russ Bailey from Beyond the Strange and Black Sky Paranormal. And we'll be back here in just a few short commercially minutes. Don't go anywhere.
KTLK Digital Broadcasting, thefringe.fm, Napa Valley, California, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Tired of talking about the weather? No Shift. Well, Shift Happens is here to fulfill your desires as you reach that point in life where you crave tantalizing conversation about reality, ufology, the occult, and the conspiracies within, while simultaneously finding yourself desperately in need of your very own theme music, which we've got plenty of that too. So be sure to tune in to Shift Happens every Friday night from 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on the Fringe FM. Because the weather sucks, and you need some theme music.
Ever seen an extraterrestrial? It can be hard to believe they exist unless you've seen one for yourself. What if I told you I've seen them my whole life, but have never had a witness who shared the encounter with me? Now, what if I told you I saw 4 of them, 2 with blue skin, and there are over 20 witnesses to this CE5 event? My new book, The Blue Beings, Visitation at the UFO Conference, documents actual accounts from real witnesses, many of which have gone on record to attest to this otherworldly reality. Be a part of the quantum paradigm shift that is taking place right now. Go to johnpolkmedia.com to get your copy of the Blue Beams Visitation at the UFO Conference, on sale right now at johnpolkmedia.com. That's JOHNPOLK media.com.
This is Ronnie LeBlanc, author of Monsterland, Encounters with UFOs, Bigfoot, and Orange Orbs, and you're listening to Shift Happens on KTLK, The Fringe FM.
KTLK Digital Broadcasting. We rock the paranormal talk.
And we are back. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, for the Fringe FM, this is Shift Happens. I'm your host, Gigi, along with our special surprise guest of the evening, Jess Rogie. What's up, Jess?
Hello. What's up, Gigi?
What's happening? And we are we're doing Talking Shift tonight, which means basically just open lines all night long. And we've also got Russ Bailey here from Beyond the Strange and Black Sky Paranormal. What's happening, Russ?
What is up, people? Thanks for having me.
Nice. Yes. And yeah, very cool show so far. And we do have another caller on the line. I think I know who this miserable person might be. And but let's go ahead and find out. What's up, caller? How are you doing? That's on you, caller. Gotta unmute my friend. Yes.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Elfman?
Hey, Russ, got a question. You ever been down here towards Illinois and Missouri?
I've been to Illinois before. I have a sister that lives in the Naperville area.
Okay, Alton's haunted place around here. They do tours and stuff down there. You ever looked into that?
I haven't yet, but I'm always on the trail of new haunted locations to check out. And let me tell you something else. I tried something new tonight. Oreo Thins double stuff.
Oh
my God, dude!
Wow,
it's heaven, man. I'm telling you.
That's even more awesomeness in the middle,
yeah,
and a little bit of the trim the fat
less
a bit.
Less cookie.
Yeah, a little less cookie, and a little more stuff. Yes, I like it.
Right
No,
stuff.
Always the Oreos, making me want an Oreo.
Dude, I'm surprised Elfman doesn't like the caramel coconut ones, because those are amazing.
I'm just not into coconut, man. It's just one of those things, you know. Maybe once a year you have a coconut. That's about it.
Yeah, the coconut doesn't really stand out though. It's more the caramel that really kicks into high gear on those cookies.
11.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to tell everybody about how you do your Oreo now?
Oh, yes. So I got some of those delicious lemon Oreos, if you guys haven't had those. And then Elf says, Jess, you got to have it with a cup of tea. So I ate it with I had my lemon Oreo cookie with this cup of tea. And all of a sudden, this cookie was transformed into not just a cookie, but it was like this decadent dessert thing that was going on. Totally recommend it. It was Elf's idea. Try it. Trust me. I felt like I was at a fancy tea.
That's what I was back before. We lead you down the right roads.
So delicious.
When it comes to food. Anything else, don't try.
So let me ask you this, Jess. Does that make it Arnold Palmer Oreos?
OMG, you're right. OMG, I didn't even think about that.
Wow. Yeah, good point.
I love Arnold Palmer's too. Who doesn't love that? That's like a great thing on a hot day.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
I wish I had some.
Have you been to Cahokia Mounds?
I have not. Where is that at?
It's in Cahokia, Illinois. That's one of the biggest civilizations around here. For the Indians, it was. And then they just kind of drifted away. But this whole town has just got mounds everywhere.
Oh, wow.
But they they've tore down a lot of them, built houses, but we have the main one, which is big. You can look it up online. They see them on there. That place is all. As a kid, we used to go down there, and just go up on the hill. When I was a kid, whenever it snowed, used to be able to go down there and sled down it, but they kind of stopped all that stuff. But if you do it at night, nobody sees you, then it don't really count.
When you first said they have mounds everywhere, I, for a split second, thought you were talking about the candy bar.
They're just everywhere. Mounds, candy bars,
just all
everywhere.
over.
As far as the eye can see.
Dude, how about
he's still thinking
Mounds
about
Oreos?
coconut over there and chocolate.
Do they make Mounds Oreos?
That would be awesome if they did.
Dude, that would be a perfect combination. But I'll tell you what. So we actually have a question for the caller in the chat room. It comes from Scott the Rocker. He says he loves the Elfman's Cain and Abel story. Pray tell.
Yeah, I told it on here. Remember?
Yeah, well, I know, but that was quite a while ago, though, wasn't it?
Was it a couple weeks ago, maybe? Yeah, it's just you gotta. The one thing I'll say, because I'm not going to say it again, it's already been on here, but one thing I'll say about the Bible, man, and most documents that are historical, if you take your religious view and the dogma out of your head and just read it like you would any other novels or anything else, things will start to click in your brain and you'll see things and go, oh my God, I never thought about that. Because once you take that, crap out of your head, it makes you sit and go, wait a minute. Because you're so used to being programmed, Cain killed Abel, and blah, blah, blah. But you missed the part where it says that the mark of Cain they marked Cain so no one else would kill him. See, most Christians go right past that and they're like, okay, no big deal. Me, I read it without the, dogma crap and I go, wait a minute, what others were there? I missed something. And then you ask preachers or anybody else and they go, well, anyway, but that's all you got to do with a lot of these texts. I mean, simplify everything. Everybody knows, man, I'm a real simple dude. You just got to simplify things and look at things. It's just that mind where you just got to, all of us, most people that are listening to this, And all of us here, we have that researcher mentality, man. You just look at something and you question everything, and that's just what you got to do. But Rocker's right, man. There's so much stuff in that Bible. If you listen, or not listen, but if you read it, you'll take away so much more than you ever did. Most Christians haven't even read the Bible.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read it, even whether you are a Christian or not, take the time and, read a couple chapters a night. I mean, don't do it for religion. Just read the text and find the history in it. And it will, well, except for that one part where they go, he begot so-and-so, he begot so-and-so. I get lost there, man. I just kind of...
Yeah, they should have skipped that part. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
One thing I like about that, though, I mean, that shows you that it is a history book.
It is.
That's one thing that you've got to look at because, people, like I just said, I get bored with it. Yeah, but that shows you how detail-oriented they were with keeping records, which also should tell you that some of the stories in the Bible may be rewrites, because the Noah story is told, or not Noah, but the, flooding story is told throughout all the civilizations. And they all got their little, story, but it all says the same thing. We don't know whose was actually the first one or anything else, but I'm just saying, read the Bible, man, and do it piece by piece, and then really kind of investigate it. Don't read it for like, oh, God, here we go with religion crap again, yada, yada, yada. Look at it like, okay, I'm going to look at it like a history book and read because your eyes will be open to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing that nobody else will tell you is, if you think of the Bible itself is it's a very psychedelic book in itself. And on top of that, man, if you ever get a chance to, do a proper guided psychedelic session, with psilocybin or what have you, and then read the Bible, whoa, that'll change your life right there. That'll change your life. And, but again, I do recommend you do it under proper guided settings. But man, that's, like I said, it's a psychedelic book. It gets really psychedelic when you read it on psychedelics. It really sinks in a way that it just would never sink in otherwise.
Well, the one thing about that also is you got to remember the Bible was basically taken and put together by, the Council of Nicaea. But what people don't realize is they took that book and they basically took Judaism and then started their own religion, Christianity. But they used Judaism as their background, which is quite funny. But people don't realize the Bible, the Torah, which is called the Old Testament, is actually the Jewish part of it. But the thing is people don't understand, Christians don't understand something. That's the Torah, but they don't understand. There's the Talmud, and there's many writings from rabbis. People don't realize that religion, like I said, they are so detail-oriented. I wish JP was here because, he could back me up on this. But
oh yeah, I wish he was here too. Yeah.
Right. I would say though is you look into Judaism, man, and it'll blow your mind because they were great record keepers, man. We talk about the American Indians, with the oral traditions. That's what the Jews had. They had the oral tradition, which most, we all had that in the beginning. All civilizations had oral before they did the written, but they had such meticulous writing. And the Talmud and all the other books that they have, it's just unreal with the knowledge that they keep, and they keep adding to it, because the Jews are not just a religion. They are a civilization.
Right.
They're like Chinese, and that's one thing that you've got to give them props on this. They kept records. And you talk to a rabbi, and you really get to know them, and they will open up and start telling you stuff. And they'll tell you, man, just like you were talking with the psychedelics. Yes, a lot of priests back in the days used things to get them into different levels of consciousness. They all know that. They don't come out and say that. But, you talk to them and they'll explain, yeah, back in history, that's what they did. It's just like, the Bible. They were all doing meditations. Jesus, anytime you see Jesus doing healings and all this, it says, he went away for a while. Well, yeah, he had to go recharge his battery. You know what I'm saying? You just, like I said, that right there, once again, you've got to look at that book and understand what they're doing. It's not just reading, going, oh, he's walking, he's healing people, and he walked away and took a nap out in the forest, and he came back and did it again. Well, my brain's going, well, wait a minute. He used a lot of energy, and then he went back, meditated, got his groove back on, and came over and started doing it again. But see, that's the difference of looking at it through the dogma and through, like, in my perspective, reality, the way I want to look at it, you know. And it's just a wonderful thing, man. When you take the old books and really look at them through a modern mind, you realize that we're not modern. Those people understood the body. They understood what we call spirituality. They understood all this. Us, we've lost all that. And now it's like, oh my God, look, we're so far advanced from all the old people. We're figuring this out because technology, you know, we're figuring out that sound waves can move things and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, have you read their books? Their books, their ancient texts say the same things. Well, they didn't have technology. Well, what does that tell you? We're too damn lazy to do it their way. We figured out, you know, the easy way to do it. It's like I said, it's just the way you got to look at things, man. A lot of old, you know, yes, even Buddhism, man, there's so much knowledge in that, man. And just like them, they talk different levels of consciousness. It's just unreal when you really look at things on a different level. It opens your mind to everything.
Yeah, so, and with that said, what do you think, in fact, somebody actually asked a question about this as well in the chat room. They were asking about the book of Enoch, whereas I'm asking about the Gospel of Thomas, and in which case my question is, what do you think about the lost Gospels? Do you believe in those, or have you read those? Because those are pretty psychedelic as well.
Yeah, that all got found, you know, in the Dead Sea Scrolls. There was so much stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Judah thing there. I mean, like I said, these are all texts. The Jews were meticulous, man. They wrote all this stuff down, and they hid this stuff. That's why we found it in caves, because they went around killing people. It's just like any other story, you know. Whoever's on top goes around and takes out the history of other cultures because they want to be the one on top. And that's why the Jews did what they did with burying all these scrolls everywhere. You know, Egypt the same way. They buried stuff all throughout, and we haven't found that. Well, we haven't, but somebody has. But,
yeah, somebody has. I agree.
Look at the Vatican. You know, you were talking about the Vatican earlier. My God, how much knowledge does the Vatican have that would help humanity? And I mean, we all know it. They've admitted it. It's just unreal. You look at that stuff and you're like, I don't get it. Why? And it is all about control, you know. But back to that, I mean, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and there was other stuff that, what do you call that? And I'm gonna butcher this, the Nag Hammadi or whatever.
The Nag Hammadi, yeah.
Yeah, look at all the old text and all this other stuff that's come out. We have writings that are older. So if you look at that, I believe in all of them because, like I said, they made the Bible by taking all these writings that they had accumulated and said, okay, we're going to put this in the book, because you had 3 different religions at the time sitting there going, okay, we're all going to get together and we're going to make one book. And that's what they did. They basically said, okay, we're going to put this in. Well, this one we're not going to put in. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of the stuff that they kept out, we're finding out now, was stuff that was so enlightening, so out of the box thinking that I think it scared them. And they're like, we don't want people believing in reincarnation, because then how are you going to control somebody that goes, hey, I'll die, no problem, I'll be back? You know, what kind of control can you have over somebody like that? You can't.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you know, if I was a friggin' psychopath, like most of those people, but, you know, that's what I would do. And what do you think's being done? And that's what's been done. But, you know, like I said, you know, the Thomas thing you were saying, if you look at that, it's not really a writing. It was a bunch of little quotes.
Yeah, just a list of quotes. Yeah.
Thing is, even though the funny thing with that is some of those quotes are older than what is on that paper. They're found throughout history. They were just reworded.
Absolutely.
I've told you the one thing this is the one thing I'll preach on. Word magic. That is how everything works. In the beginning, what was there? What did they say in the Christian Bible? In the beginning, there was the Word.
The Word.
And any other civilization, Indians and all that, instead of them using the word, they say a frequency. The Big Bang, what is that?
That's sound. It was a sound, a frequency. Yeah.
Everything, and I say this, and people don't get me, but it's all about word magic. Our brains are set up to understand the frequencies. That's what it runs off of. That's what everything runs off of. This Earth, the universe, everything is a frequency. We all know this. Tesla come out with that, and boy, they shut his ass down pretty quick with everything. I mean, when the guy's sitting there saying, hey, we can get free energy, hey, we can do this, we can do that, and it's like, yeah, we're going to buy his patents, we're going to shut him down. They made his life so tough and hard that they basically put him in poverty. And people don't even know who was paying his bills at the end because he lived in a hotel and it was being paid for, and he just lived there until he died.
Yeah.
You know. But to get back on track, there are so many other writings out there that the Christians had that they never put in the book. And then you talk to a Christian preacher or anybody, and they go, well, it was done by different people, but it was basically the same thing. So we took it out of there because the stories were kind of equal. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, because you should have all of them, because if you don't have all the facts, how are you going to make the decision that you need to make? You know, even with religion, I would think that you would want to give them all the facts to prove to them this is our truth. It is the truth. But instead, they hide so much. And like you said, Enoch, I mean, that right there will blow your mind. If you ever start reading that, and you know, Ezekiel, look, that's one thing that blew my mind, was them leaving Ezekiel in there. When Ezekiel's talking about the wheels and all this, you know, when I was a kid reading that, I'm like, well, what the hell? Mom's like, yeah, don't read that. You won't understand it. Read, you know, the next part, you know. And they don't, and the funny thing is, they do not study that. Go show me one church that starts talking about Ezekiel.
Not only do they not study it, they condemn it. I mean, I went to, when I was quite a bit younger, I found the Gospel of Thomas, and I was like, dude, I got to show this to my fucking effing preacher. You know, like, dude, have you seen this? And he was like, oh, yeah. Like, he got very defensive and was like, oh, no, that's how dare you? You know, he kind of had that kind of vibe. And it was like, man, it really? Like, it seems pretty nice to me. I don't know. But that's even less so than, like you said, Enoch or Ezekiel. Not to mention, I mean, there's so many other books that were left out that paint a whole different picture. Maybe not a different picture is not the best way to put it, but a much more broad picture of what's going on in the rest of the books. You know, it gives a lot of extra context to what's going on in the rest of the books that were left in the Bible. You know what I mean?
Now, here's something that you need to think about. One awesome thing that I've always thought. They will sit there and tell you meditation's wrong and all this stuff's from, you know, you shouldn't interpret dreams, you shouldn't do this. And I'm sitting here going, well, wait a minute. All those prophets were having visions and dreaming. That's all they did. Well, they were chosen from God. Well, did they sign in? Did he give them a note? I don't understand. So how did those people get picked? Well, they were chosen. How do you know? Did you talk to him? Was there a book left that said only these people are going to get it? And that's what I laugh at now, because I look at it and I think, oh my God, all these people had these Kundalini experiences, whatever you want to call it. They had these epiphanies, and they had this message given to them, and they wrote it down. But it was all through their perspective. Each one of us could watch a car wreck. And the funny thing is with that is, you will have 10 people watch a car wreck, and you will have 10 different stories from 10 different perspectives.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're getting ready to go to break, so I'll chill for a sec.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got a minute, but yeah, let's go ahead and take the break. Then we'll come back. And then obviously, Pat, you're welcome to just stay right there. Same thing with you, Russ, and obviously Jess. And we'll be back here in just a few short minutes here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get all the buttons in order. And yes! There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM. I'm your host, Gigi. We are joined tonight by Jess Rogie from Escape the Simulation. And we're also joined by Russ Bailey from Beyond the Strange and Black Sky Paranormal. And we're also joined by the one and only Elfman. We'll be back here in just a few short commercial minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Thousands of people are having paranormal experiences with ghosts, demons, shadow people, dogmen, Bigfoot, and more. Their stories need to be told, and they are being told. Dark Waters, a renowned storyteller, invites you to join at IamDarkWaters.com. For just a few dollars a month, you can listen to some of the most hair-raising and compelling stories on the planet. You'll have access to real-life stories told by Dark Waters, thousands of hours of content. Their encounters are being told, and told by the best, at IamDarkWaters.com. Listen to stories like The Rabbit Man, the Dogman encounter in Silas, Alabama, The Man with No Face, The Other Woman, A Day Ahead of the Devil, Dogman Murder in Hurricane Ida, even a story of someone trying to kill a dogman. Louisiana water demon stories. Sign up today and become a member at IamDarkWaters.com. That's IamDarkWaters.com.
Are we living in a simulation? Listen live each week as we expand our awareness and explore the multitude of mysteries in this world. Escape the simulation live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern with me, Jess Rogie, here on the Fringe FM, KTLK Digital Broadcasting.
Musicians experience a lot of frustration with music marketing and promotion. They have no idea how to get their music heard, and they're spending hours sending emails, making phone calls, and hitting up their friends to promote them. With our industry-powered digital marketing platform, we can set up your media plan in minutes. Our team will automatically distribute your music across all the best channels, so you can focus on actually making the music. Submit your music today on our website at mymusicpromoter.com. That's mymusicpromoter.com.
Hey, this is Anthony Tyler, host of Black Hoodie Alchemy, and you are listening to The Fringe FM.
Listen as we explore the mysteries of the universe, the unknown, high strangeness, consciousness, and our human potential. Lighting the Void is an eclectic program that strives to ignite the late night with stimulating conversations. Join us on The Fringe FM.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Have you suffered in silence or experienced stress from a paranormal experience? Even if it happened 20 years ago, when thinking or talking about it today still makes you feel sick to your stomach or makes your heart beat faster, or you suddenly can't breathe. Maybe you even feel those old familiar signs of a panic attack trying to reach the surface. You could have unprocessed emotional responses. Those reactions of terror and trauma are no different than living through a horrible assault, childhood abuse, or a terrible car accident. It can be nearly impossible to find help. The very instance of seeing a ghost or encountering a cryptid could be clinically described as seeing or hearing things that aren't there. You could be considered psychotic, or at best, you're just not taken seriously. Out of a growing mountain of research, the National Institute for Integrative Healthcare showed that 8 out of 10 veterans who completed just 6 one-hour EFT sessions no longer tested positive for PTSD. If you've had paranormal trauma, you can contact Metaphorical Archaeology by calling 214-995-3754. Again, that's 214-995-3754. for a discreet consultation.
This is Tom Sherman. Down here at Banning College, we're promoting a blood drop. Oh, shit.
Guilty. Welcome to the Sound of America. You're listening to AM 580. Lay back, the sheep, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb.
Steve sold Adam the apple. Told me so! To my face! Cannot be saved. Follow me and Good to know that he's walking with me. Big rock as a weapon.
The devil is a black stone.
True. into the farm. Let him cast the first stone. Jesus. And you have fallen into the love that needs to be discerned by the Lord. Hallelujah, y'all. I want to hear a couple of hallelujahs.
And we're back. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Fringe FM, this is Shift Happens. I am your host, Gigi, along with our guest, special surprise guest co-host for tonight. That is none other than Jess Rogie from Escape the Simulation. What's happening, Jess?
What up, Gigi?
Yes, and we are also joined by Russ Bailey from Beyond the Strange and Black Sky Paranormal. What's happening, Russ?
Hey, what's happening, folks?
All right, and we are also joined by the one and only Pat the Elfman. What's up, Elfman? You still there? Oh, we got another caller as well. We've got another caller as well. All right, let's do one thing at a time here.
Right on.
And turn that down. And all right, so we've got Elfman. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Because we also have, I think I know who it is, but I'm not sure. New caller. Who art thou, and how dare you? What's happening?
Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's
Yes!
Night
Stalker.
Night Stalker. All right, fantastic.
What's up?
All right, we've got
Gotta be quick.
got a full gang here. All right, so yeah, so Night Stalker's probably I'm guessing you're at work. So
I'm at work.
all right, so
I'll try to put the video on real quick if you guys
Yeah.
can see that.
nice. There you go.
Okay, so-
Oh, you got the blur effect too. Nice, good deal.
I couldn't see myself, so that was a
Good deal. But yeah, let's get to Night Stalker while he's able to be here. So
Okay.
yeah.
I gotta be quick. I wasn't gonna call, but Jess's commercial for like are we living in a simulation from Jess?
Yeah.
Like really got me going. So I have to
Nice.
remind me of this. So did you guys ever hear Duncan Trussell read the Book of John, but like with simulation terms in it before?
Yeah.
I have it written down if you guys haven't heard it.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so the idea is he took like the first bit of the Book of John and like took out all the key terms like God and like just the religious terms and replaced it with like technological terms like programmer and code and that kind of stuff, you know, to see like if it made any sense. So he used the find and replace and replaced all of them. So here it is. In the beginning was the code. The code was with the programmer. The code was the programmer. He was with the programmer in the beginning. Through him, all things were programmed. Without him, nothing was programmed that has been programmed. In him was life, and that life was the upgrade of all mankind. The upgrade shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not downloaded it. The true upgrade that upgrades everyone was coming into the simulation. He was in the simulation, and through the simulation was programmed through him. The simulation did not recognize him. Sorry, he was in the simulation, and though the simulation was programmed through him, the simulation did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become the children of the programmer. So he basically explains in this analogy that if this is a simulation, then the programmer recognized that the AI inside the simulation reached a certain level of like sentience, and that was actually experiencing like suffering. So the programmer has like a rush of empathy and compassion, and then goes into the simulation as an avatar to try to create this upgrade, you know, and using his own body as the means to do so. And he allowed his own simulation to destroy him as a sign of his love for the thing that he had programmed. Pretty crazy, right?
It's crazy when you see. That's what when you use technological terms, everything makes it makes so much more sense.
It's pretty crazy.
It really
right?
is. Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys said that before. So that's basically all I really got. I just wanted to toss that into the mix. You know, what if we're living in a simulation? You know, what happens then? You know, what does the Bible say about that? And it might say a little something. You know.
It might. It very well might. In fact, I think it does. But
it's a simulation.
Yeah, dude. Duncan Trussell is a genius, I might add.
Oh, yeah,
on top of that,
he's the best.
Yeah, to think of putting that together, absolutely. But all right, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying, the last 2 elections I've written him in for president. Like,
nice.
I gotta vote. I can't not vote, or it's like we lose. But so I feel like the real thing is like to utilize the write-in movement. Like we're never going to actually get a candidate, but what if we get like millions of people to just vote in somebody that like we actually know? You know, I'm just sick of like people from the same bloodline getting in there every single freaking time. You know, like they're all related to each other. They're all cousins. It's like none of them aren't. None of them aren't. They all are. All you people. If you follow any of them, they're on the same side. You know, so give me one person. Give me somebody who has a podcast or something. I don't know. One of us.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. That's all I really got. So,
talk about this, man. One thing is, it's their system. They control the system.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why
it wouldn't actually win. We would never actually like get that guy in there that way. It's because it's all rigged. It's not a fair game. But just like like a form of protest or a form of like what can we do if we just like if 10 million people. Like there's only 80 million supposed voters for the winner anyways, like supposedly. And I don't know, it'd be a pretty crazy protest. Like a way to not burn stuff down, and a way to like show that like we're not giving up. Like our options are either vote for somebody we don't like or not vote and give up and just let them do whatever they want. Like neither one of those things seem like the best option. It seemed like they're going to be the option that actually gets us anywhere, you know? So neither will this per se, but I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. So maybe when one of us turns like 36, we can run. Or Russ, you can run.
Pat can run.
Pat can run.
I'm too old to run.
Don't take Pat out within the first day. We know him. Come on, give me a break. We'll get assassinated real quick. He knows too much. Come on.
The one thing I will say though, man, you're playing their game, okay? You're playing by their rules. You can't win a game that the person controls the rules. The only way is to walk away and start a new game. The only logical outcome to make this all go away is for all of us to totally get together and walk out of the system. This system keeps them alive. It's what keeps them alive.
But what does that mean, though? Like, realistically, what does that mean? If say nobody votes besides like the one group of 300 people. So fine. The winner has 300 votes, and they won. I mean, they're still playing that game. Like us, every single citizen in America did not vote as a form of protest. We lose because all it takes is one person, one of the elites, to vote for their guy, and they're in again. They're going to be like, none of these results are going to give us a person in the White House who is not related to this bloodline. None of them. So the only way to just is make some kind of, I don't know, like the idea of creating our own system. What does that even mean? Like, what does that mean? You know, what are we going to do? Form our own country? Like, it's just you know, like a write-in movement is something we can do like next election, and it won't actually get us another president, but like it says it's a symbol, it's a message to them. I mean, more than anything else, not voting just allows them to do whatever they want to do. So like my first election was my 2016 election was the election where weed came up in Massachusetts. So I wasn't going to vote for Trump, I wasn't going to vote for Hillary, but I needed to vote for weed. So what am I going to do? Right in Duncan Trussell.
Nice.
And I think if we organized, if like all of us out here organized, we could, I don't know, vote anybody in. Vote one of us in. Vote somebody we like in. Like not Elon Musk, but like somebody we actually know. You know? No. A real person who's not related, for sure confirmed not related to this one bloodline, because they all are. All of them. Crazy. The winner and the loser. Both candidates are. It's a rigged game from the start. So, all right, I'm rambling. That's all I really got.
No, you're more than welcome to keep rambling. And that's why we love Night Stalker right there. And yeah, you're right. You know, both sides. It is really crazy how they're all connected. They're all related. And I mean, not just as an analogy, but literally. They are all related. Yes, they are all related.
This is like not even a conspiracy. This was on in like 2012. This was on like mainstream news. Like some girl. There's like the one famous video. It's like some like 12 or 13-year-old girl who did a history project, had to do like a family tree or something, or had to do a project about the presidents. She was like, yeah. So I was looking at all the family trees for all these presidents, and I realized that like none of these like historians use the maternal side. It's all just like the fraternal side. So when I put the mom side in there, I found out that every single one of the presidents, besides one of them, like McKinley or something like that, were all related. Like including Obama, who was half black, like including Hillary, including Trump, including Biden, including Cheney, Romney, everybody who lost since I've been voting. They're all related. Brad Pitt, like celebrities, like
even Brad Pitt. I didn't even know Brad Pitt was in on that.
If he was a little uglier, he would just be a politician. You know, like the good-looking ones become actors. That's just how it works. But yeah, and they're all related to John Lackland, who is the King of England. He is King John in Robin Hood. It's based on John Lackland. Yeah, and the Trump and Hillary one is John Lackland's nephew, I believe. John of Gaunt is their like most common ancestor together. They're like 17th cousins, and everyone's like, well, everyone's related. You all trace back to Africa. We're all related. And it's like, yeah, but none of us in this conversation are closer than 100th cousins. How about if I'm walking down the street, like when John Lackland was alive, let's say conservatively, there's 1 million people in the world, you know? So like all those people have descendants, you know, fast forward to today, and like none of those people get a chance to have their offspring, descendants, be president. It's just one family. That's not a democracy. That's something else, you know?
Weird.
It is very weird. Yeah. Because they care about the blood. It's all about, for some reason, whatever it is. But yeah. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Somebody saved me.
No, we're endearingly listening. Yeah.
Stalker.
You talking to me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were saying stalker or not.
No.
What's up?
You brought up all this. Everything you said has been tried before, because you're still playing the same game and doing the same tactics that have been done throughout the centuries. Everything you're saying has been done in the 60s. It was done before then. It was done in Rome. It's all been done. You're playing their game. And what I mean by that is everything. Every move, every counter move, they've all got it figured out.
Yeah, so what's the alternative, though? So what are you saying, other than, like, we're all screwed?
I'm going to make it simple, dude, because I'm a simple person, man. You have to not play the game. If everybody said, screw it, didn't pay taxes, started growing their own food, and go back to how it was in the beginning, where before, look at the cycles of humanity. Yeah. Always end up getting to a point like this, and then all of a sudden, they fall down, we build back up, we fall down, build back up. That's just how it always is in civilizations. We know that. The thing is to stop that, you've got to take yourself out of that system. You can't rely on somebody else to do that. That's just it. You grow your own food, you take care of your own stuff. That's just it. You've been programmed to keep progressing, keep going and progressing. We need to know more of you.
Yeah.
Product,
I mean,
destroy you. And then when they get to a point where they don't need you, I mean, look at what they did at the World Economic Forum. They told you what to do.
Yeah, but realistically, how is every single person going to do that? How is every single person going to like live on their own land, separated from the government, without the government's interference at all? Like, are we going to move? Are we going to? So nobody's going to pay taxes. We're just going to chill, and they're not going to do anything. My mom is in a wheelchair. She can barely move. She's not growing her own vegetables. I mean, we have to be practical. Like, none of these things are solutions. Just stating the problems over and over again, and it's just like write-in ballot for a podcaster is not going to give us a new president, obviously. But it's like, it would be like a thing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, remember when they did that? And it's like, marching's not doing anything, obviously, and like protesting is not doing anything, obviously. So like in the streets, like what do they just don't care. They don't care. And if we all just said we're opting out, like we're still here. We're here still. Like we're here. I mean, so if we're just allowing them to do whatever they want, it's just like, I don't know. It just I don't know. They want us to like be overwhelmed by the amount of like negative stimulus that we're constantly being hit by. That's the most important part of it. Like it gets metaphysical and woo-woo, but like there's a chance that they might not, like, everything they do needs to be like done through our mind. So like we are the reality creators. Like the human mind is the one that's like manifesting reality on every level. So like they have to bombard us with like dystopian propaganda that we're living in this mess, and to just like, I don't know, to get overwhelmed and shut down, basically, like the trauma, or to like, I don't know, just think that everyone's trying to kill you and hurt you and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. Like I was begging in like 2011. I was begging for people to get fired up, and then I saw what that looked like, and it's like it got worse. We're worse now than we were in 2015 as a conspiracy community, by far, not even close. We're like miles behind where we were in 2015. So it's like we got to reassess, and like, I don't know. I just hear a lot of like, all it's from everybody. It's just a lot. This is not directed at you, Pat. It's just directed at like all the armchair talk show hosts that I'm here, like being like, yeah, we got to do this, blah, 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 and do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, what are you even talking about? Like, what are you even? How is my mom in a wheelchair gonna do any of that? And she's gonna die? Like, and it's just, she's not the only one. Like, there's a lot of people like that. We have to do something else. We have to think, like, I don't know, like Gigi said, like we're gonna take some kind of, I don't know, really get out there, really get heady with it, really get like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Now,
as far as your mom, the Indians used to take care of the elderly, and they used to take care of the ones that were disabled. Like I said, getting back to being local, community, that's the key to all. And you're getting upset, and you're all, getting out of control.
But where though? But where? Like in the towns where I live at, they're like, is everyone just gonna say like we're not part of America anymore? Like, is that? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem practical. It just like it seems like something to say, but how does that look in practice?
Thing and just lay down and die, because I guess there's nothing left to do. Then, Stalker, I mean, there's just nothing left to do. Let's just give up, because you've said it. There's nothing we can do. We're never going to get people to do it. Let's just quit.
That's the does that sound like what I just said? It's the opposite of what I was just saying. I mean, like, just quitting everything, completely removing stuff from the system it's not. It can't happen like that. Like, these aren't. They're not real solutions. They're not real solutions. So it's like we have to. I'm sick of hearing it all the time, because it's not a real solution, and it just makes. I don't know. It's traumatizing people, and no solutions are happening at all. It's just, you're getting people riled up for no reason, with no actual solutions. And it's coming from like one of the biggest conspiracy theorists in our community. Like, I'm all about it. They're all related. None of it's real. And it's like, these things are not solutions. They're I don't know. I'm sick of the straw man arguments. It's always like, they say this, and it's like earlier you said, they're telling us not to meditate. Like, who is telling you not to meditate, Pat? Who? Like, when has that conversation been had? You know what I mean? Like, we have to get like down to like what's actually happening, and like what we can actually do. And like, my mom is lucky enough to have a son who can take care of her, but every person in a wheelchair is not having that. You know, a lot of like nurses out there, and they need more of them, because people need help. So it's like, not everybody can just go and grow their own gardens. So we're moving ourselves like that. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry I'm taking that on you, but it's generally like, it's just like ear beating over and over and over again. Same things for years. Somebody else chime in, please.
Yeah, well, I think you both make very valid points. Absolutely. And, like you said, if if we all just decided to not vote, well, there's going to be at least 300 or 400 people that are going to vote.
Yeah, all it takes is one person. All it takes is Soros himself to walk up to the ballot and cast his vote for whoever he wants, and they're in there. I mean, so unless we find some huge island above the ice wall on the other side, or something, the Hall of Earth or something like that, we're living here still. Like, we can't just refuse to do the things. Like, as nice as it would be, I don't want to pay taxes. I'm broke. I work at a supermarket. I don't want to take any of my money away. Right. But it's like, I also don't want to get thrown in jail. So we got to figure out another thing, other than like hypothetical pitchforks, or like us all having our own acre of land with a compound, and like, I don't know, because a lot of people just can't. That's not feasible realistically, unless you're just saying, yeah, we'll just chop off the bottom 50% of the population because they can't make it in our new world order that you're talking about, a new society, a new greater utopian society that we're all growing our own vegetables and stuff. It's just like, it seems it's the narrative they want us to have. It's what they want us to be talking about. Is what irks me the most about it. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like.
I hear you.
That makes sense.
I hear you, and I think we have another caller, although they might have just left. Are you still there, caller?
It looks like they left.
Yeah, I think they left. Yeah, we scared them off. I'll tell you what, it's about time to wrap up anyways. I'll tell you what, though, what I would not give to have another hour for to have you guys.
I have to go anyways. I can't. I'm in the aisle right now. I'm pacing back and forth, trying to stock the least loud cases I can stock. The ones that aren't in bags.
Yeah, and but yeah, we're gonna have to let you guys go. But real quick before we do, yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. For those of you that want to, as Daryl suggested, she says go on Discord. I'll tell you what. I will go to Michael Strange's Discord channel. And I will be on the voice channel over there in just a few minutes. So if you guys want to keep having this conversation...
Joe says go another hour.
Oh, he does?
Yes. He says he's stuck at the moment.
Ah, well then let's
just do it then. Or
let's go. All right. Wait, who just left? Oh, I guess I was Night Stalker.
I'm here.
Are you still here, Pat?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just take a commercial break then. I'll have to I don't have 4 breaks, so we'll have to replay one of the old ones. Let's just go with the first one. How about that? Dude, my cat is literally ruining everything that I'm doing right now. This is unbelievable. Oh, okay. Later on, Russ. We'll see you later. No worries, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great rest of the show. Take care. I'll see you guys on the Midnight Blend.
All right. Sounds good, my friend. Sounds good.
Take care.
All right. Later, Russ.
Good night.
All right. So Russ is out, and but it's still me and Jess and Elfman, and my cat is very heavily in the mix. And all right, so let's go ahead and cut to commercial break. And when we come back, we will pick... Oh, Jesus Christ, Kitty. We will come back right where we picked off after these few short, commercially, minutely breaks. Don't go anywhere.
Listen. As we explore the mysteries of the universe, the unknown, high strangeness, consciousness, and our human potential, Lighting the Void is an eclectic program that strives to ignite the late night with stimulating conversations. Join us on The Fringe FM.
Yohoy there, it's Gigi from Shift Happens, and you're listening to the one and only Fringe FM. Well, at least I'd imagine so. I'm not sure how else, you'd be hearing this.
Musicians experience a lot of frustration with music marketing and promotion. They have no idea how to get their music heard, and they're spending hours sending emails, making phone calls, and hitting up their friends to promote them. With our industry-powered digital marketing platform, we can set up your media plan in minutes. Our team will automatically distribute your music across all the best channels, so you can focus on actually making the music. Submit your music today on our website at mymusicpromoter.com. That's mymusicpromoter.com.
My name is Alex Exum, and you're listening to The Fringe FM.
Are you avoiding the media? I don't blame you. Hi, I'm Jess Rogie, and it's my job to sift through the BS to find you the best in Fringe news. Listen to the Rogie Report news here on the Fringe FM, KTLK Digital Broadcasting. The truth is out there, and so are we.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Have you suffered in silence or experienced stress from a paranormal experience? Even if it happened 20 years ago, when thinking or talking about it today still makes you feel sick to your stomach or makes your heart beat faster, or you suddenly can't breathe. Maybe you even feel those old familiar signs of a panic attack trying to reach the surface. You could have unprocessed emotional responses. Those reactions of terror and trauma are no different than living through a horrible assault, childhood abuse, or a terrible car accident. It can be nearly impossible to find help. The very instance of seeing a ghost or encountering a cryptid could be clinically described as seeing or hearing things that aren't there. You could be considered psychotic, or at best, you're just not taken seriously. Out of a growing mountain of research, the National Institute for Integrative Healthcare showed that 8 out of 10 veterans who completed just 6 one-hour EFT sessions no longer tested positive for PTSD. If you've had paranormal trauma, you can contact Metaphorical Archaeology by calling 214-995-3754. Again, that's 214-995-3754. For a discreet consultation. Thousands of people are having paranormal experiences with ghosts, demons, shadow people, dogmen, Bigfoot, and more. Their stories need to be told, and they are being told. Dark Waters, the renowned storyteller, invites you to join at IamDarkWaters.com. For just a few dollars a month, you can listen to some of the most hair-raising and compelling stories on the planet. You'll have access to real-life stories told by Dark Waters, thousands of hours of content. Their encounters are being told, and told by the best, at IamDarkWaters.com. Listen to stories like The Rabbit Man, the Dogman encounter in Silas, Alabama, The Man with No Face, The Other Woman, A Day Ahead of the Devil, Dogman Murder in Hurricane Ida, even a story of someone trying to kill a dogman. Louisiana water demon stories. Sign up today and become a member at IamDarkWaters.com. That's IamDarkWaters.com.
I came to LA to make rock and roll. Along the way I had to sell my soul. I made some good friends that make me say I really wanna be in LA. I took the 10 to get to Beverly, laid some rock to tape, roll out on 180. Alan and Natasha always make me say I really wanna be in LA.
And we are back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, going past 2 hours here on Shift Happens for the Fringe FM. This is, of course, Shift Happens. I'm your host, Gigi, along with our special surprise co-host for the evening, Jess Rogie. What's up, Jess?
Hey! Hey, surprise!
Yes, and we are still joined on the phone by the one and only Pat, a.k.a. Elfman. What's up, Elfman? He's there somewhere, folks, I promise you.
Hear me?
Oh, now
there he is.
Yeah, now we can hear you. All right, now we have Elfman. And also joining us is another caller. I'm pretty sure who I'm supposed to know it's supposed to be. The one and only. Well, let's just make sure it's him first. Who are that caller?
What's up with the echo in here?
Oh, there's no echo anywhere,
Echo.
my friend.
I'm getting an echo.
No.
Oh,
I hear
really? Sounds good over here.
Well, of course it does. It's your output to the callers and everybody else that's getting the echo. Anyways, what's all this solutions talk?
Anyway, let's
what are we finding solutions
properly introduce our caller. It's none other than Joe Roop from Lighting the Void on the Fringe FM. What's happening, Joe?
I'm just Joe. I'm trying to get back to the studio.
Well, then why are you calling in here?
Little, because I want to talk to you, because I'm listening to you. Am I not supposed to listen to you? I'll hang up if you want me to.
Oh, no, I was just kidding. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's hear it.
I had to give my statement to the police, so I'm on my way back.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
Damn.
Of course I'm okay, Jess. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay, good. You scared me there. Okay.
It's Daytona Beach. You're always having to talk to the police out here.
Oh,
So what was Night Stalker yelling about? I only caught the last half of it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know who. Well, first of all, we have another caller that just called in. I can't help but
all right.
So we have area code 818. I think I know who this is. What's up, my friend?
What's up, TG? Is that Joe Roop?
That is Joe Roop. Absolutely.
Oh, man. You know what? You guys have got my juices flowing here, and I'm a little angry. I threw a couple wheels across the floor.
Who's that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't do anything. That's my friend Scott the Rocker. He's OG status.
OG what?
So, listen,
Gangster, skateboarder?
Well, no, but he
yeah,
rides
both
some
and
gnarly
everything
dirt
else.
bikes, though.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Scott's he's been on the show several times. He calls in all the time, and so yeah, Scott, what's going on, man? Can you rephrase that question?
Yeah, I was listening to Pat. You know what? I just it's got me going here, and with the stalker. So this is what I really kind of got into my brain here: the diversity among us. And I think this is why we have the watchers that are always reporting, and I think they're reporting to a higher density. And these things that are flying around that we call the bugs, that are flying around, watching what we're doing, controlling what we're doing, seeing the animosity amongst us. Is this something that is normal? I mean, am I just imagining this, or is it we getting more frequency in what we're seeing and evolving? We're seeing more of these UFOs and all this phenomenon that is going around us. I think it's becoming more of an occurrence than what it was before. Can you guys kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, what do you think, Joe?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, I don't. I don't see a lot of UFOs, to be honest with you. So I don't know anything about that. But I think until people stop looking outside themselves for solutions, there ain't going to be any solutions. We always looking outside ourselves all the time. And we don't have enough leaders. That's the problem. We don't we don't have enough leaders in this society. I don't think. You know, all the leaders are either running tech companies or running, COVID crap. Or, I mean, look at the UFO thing. What the biggest they did was take it to our government. That's not a solution. So we don't really have any leaders. And then when we get to a point like we think we're actually doing something, we just hand it over to the people that we think are our leaders, and they're not. I mean, nothing's going to change until we start looking inside ourselves and we take our damn country back. That's it. There's nothing we can depend on in this country, you know?
I totally believe in that, but do you think that there's too many chiefs and no Indians?
I think, well, in the podcast world, yeah. There's too many people, like Night Stalker's talking about. Everybody's got, you know, answers to solutions, and they want to talk about it, and they want people to listen to them. But what are you actually doing in your community? I like what Pat's talking about. You can definitely do that stuff in your community, in your towns, in cities. You can do it anywhere. There's people that do it in cities and in the countries and rural areas. It's just a matter of, like, who's going to step up and lead that way instead of getting on the internet and running their mouth, and who's not, you know? That's the only difference. Everybody's on the internet running their mouth. I mean, that's what's up now. That's what the thing is.
That's the one thing I did when I got into a small town. And like Joe said, you know, I've said it many times before. It's local. That's how you make a change. Nothing else is going to work. It's a grassroots thing. They beat us by starting from the top down. The only way we take it back is from the bottom up. And like Joe was saying, you know, and I hate going, it's not that I'm a Christian and on one religion, but it's just we're in a country and it's a Christian country, so that's what I refer to. But here's the thing people don't get, man. The biggest problem is the hearts and the minds and the souls of men. And we've been taught that through that book. You know, in the beginning, there was 4 people. One was corrupt. And look what happened since. The corruption spread, and it's always been in us. It's the hearts and souls that have to change. The only way you're going to do that is locally. And I understand, Stalker, you know, my mom's disabled, and I take care of my mom, too. That's what I do. But the thing is we have to start from the bottom. You know, it's the grassroots. It's, you know, local. We have to do that. And it starts with doing the right thing. You know, you don't need religion. We don't need all this stuff. The only thing we need to do is the spirituality, which is what we've all been reading about. You know, Jesus, what did he do? He walked around and changed the hearts and souls and minds of men and women and children, whatever you want to do, you know, completely correct. But anyway, he walked around and did that. And look at that. One man took 12 who he turned into leaders, and then he turned around. Look at this religion. It's lasted over 2,000 years, and it's one of the top religion. Let that sink in. No guns, no nothing did he use. He changed the hearts and souls of men. And that's what has to happen again. We've been shown the answer on what to do, but we haven't had, like Joe was saying, we haven't had the leaders to step up and do it because they end up being corrupted.
And what would Jesus do if there was an internet? That's the real
that's the poison.
Well,
that's the poison.
Correct.
The electronics that we've come into our lives has been the poison for all of us. I mean, even for my children, 16 and the 12-year-old, I can't get them off of it. It's a poison. And now the corruption begins. I have no social response from my children anymore. I could literally take their electronics away from them to even get a card game or a board game or even get them to ride a bike. That is poisonous. It has corrupted every individual and our children. It's taking them away from our lives.
Now, I'm not trying to. I'm not going to sit here and say anything bad, but everybody wants to blame something. Internet, guns, whatever it is. And I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to flip people off, but Crowley, one of the things I read in his book that stuck with my brain more than anything he ever did is when he explained about water. He said, is water good or is it bad? Because you can take boiling water and cook food for people and you can survive. Or you can take those people and boil them in it and kill them. It's all what you do with what you have. The energy has no good and bad. It's the heart and the soul and the mind of us that does it.
Wow.
That's the correct
that's
point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at what you can find in some Crowley from time to time. But
that's a good point.
I would highly recommend book 4 if you're going to read
Let's
into
go
any
to
Crowley.
let's go to a deeper question. Let's say 50 years from now, where's this going? Where are we heading? Are we not going to try to correct our problems? Or are we going to have this bitter battle between now and 100 years? I mean, I fear for my children's generation and their child. I mean, where are we going from here?
Artificial intelligence. That's it.
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like Joe was saying about leaders, we no longer lead our house. Men don't lead the house. And I know I'm going to piss people off, but whatever, man. I'm old school.
You're already sounding old school. Yeah. But let's hear it.
It doesn't.
No.
You don't have the
I want to hear this.
Oh. And,
I leave my house, but they hate me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Joe said it, man. Leadership's the biggest thing. We have to stop it from the local level. And when I mean local, I mean your family, my family. It starts with you. Joe said it in the beginning. Yep. It's only on the outside, it's on the inside. And that's that's the big lesson Jesus and a lot of Buddhists, and Buddha and the rest of them have taught. We have the answers right in front of us, but nobody wants those answers because they're like, no, there's got to be an easier way. You're older, Scott, and I'm older. We look at these kids and we're like, you guys are lazy. We say you're lazy. You don't want to do the work to get what you're doing. Well, look at us. Right. It's not easy. We're busy doing other stuff and trying to take care of making bills, 2 jobs, all this stuff. But that's the system being used against us. They get us so bad to where we can't do our children, so they are. It's done by a handful of corrupt people. We've always known that. But back again, the answer is local. It's your kids, man. It's the hearts and souls. That's what has to change. We know the answer.
My kids are outcast at their high school. They're deeply motivated. They know what's right and what's wrong. And the people around them, I tell them, listen, you're going to be outcast, but you've got to hold the line. Toe the line, and don't let nobody change your outcast. What you need to do is focus. Focus. And all those people that are going that direction, go the opposite direction. You're going to be just fine.
But the thing,
we live in a world of image, and the internet has made it even bigger. It's not about what you do. It's not about your character. It's not about your character. It's not about never backing down. It's how do you look to everybody else? How do you appear to everybody else? Image. And now we're all going against ourselves so we can keep a better image. That's the game that's being played. Until you stop giving a damn what other people think and you start standing up for what's right, nothing's going to change. That's locally. It doesn't matter if it's the internet or locally.
Yeah.
Totally correct. Correct. I mean, I don't know where we all went wrong. I just don't know. And listening to Pat going from Cain and Abel on down the line, and I think to myself, like, how the hell did humanity at some point just lose control of themselves and become so selfish, so self-inflicted about image and what they look like compared to when we died? None of the shit comes with this. None of the shift comes with us anyways. So what makes the difference? Why can't we be just polite to one another and realize that whether you make $100 million a year or they make $5 a day, you're not going anywhere. There's something else that's more involved as far as your soul is intact. Their soul is going to deliver you to someplace else, whether how much money you make or not. And it frustrates me to no end.
Yeah, well, we live in a system where people devalue you based on your image, based on your achievements, your possessions, and your image. Now, if you don't have possessions and you don't have achievements and you don't have a good image, then your value goes to zero. And that's bullshit. It's the other way around. It should be the other way around. Your character is everything, and what you stand for is everything.
But
and
that's
like, if you have to do it locally, then do it locally. Who gives a shit? But now everybody wants to get on the internet. It's just like being in high school, right? Everybody's on the internet. If you're not on the internet pushing your image, then you're an outcast, right? And it's bullshit. It should just be a place of expression, and that's it. That's all it's for. That's what it should be for. Connection and expression.
Joe,
that's it.
Joe, I love you. I never met you, but I love you.
But that's what we've been.
Well, I love you too, brother.
We've been programmed to value materials instead of us, and that's the biggest problem. Nobody loves themselves anymore, takes care of themselves anymore, or anything. And that's the saddest thing I see with everybody. We're always pushing to strive to do better, but all you're doing is pushing yourself to help the person that's making out, not you. And what I mean by making out is the upper elite class or whatever. Everything we're doing, we're struggling to do. And the funny thing is, they're the ones profiting from everything. They use it, against us. But it's like I said, it's the hearts and souls, man. I mean, and the mind. That's the biggest thing. The Bible, that was the biggest lesson to the whole Bible. I mean, in my eyes, I could be wrong, but the way I look at it, in the beginning, Cain and Abel, the first story, man, a murder, that right there kicked it off and said, look, corruption is the key to the downfall of all of us. We have to get rid of the corruption. If we haven't, we just make disciples. And nobody, like you said, Joe, and Scott, nobody wants to work for anything. But then again, we haven't been trained to work. We've been sitting here programmed to go, hey, get on the internet. If everybody likes you, you can be a millionaire. Well, yeah, I'll do that. They'll put the work in for the easy way out, but they won't put the work in to go outside, cut the grass, do this, make a few bucks, put it in your pocket. That's the problem, man. We've been shown this easy way. And, Joe was right. AI, man. We're controlled and manipulated really easy because, once again, no matter what you think of human beings, we are machines and we are programmable. No matter how enlightened you ever become, we're always humans. We will be programmable.
Yeah, if I was rich, I wouldn't tell anybody. I mean, if you're wealthy, the worst thing you can do is tell people. It's the worst thing you can do. Because that's all you're valued about. You're valued is your image and what's in your pocket. I did a show a while back about get that bag, right? That's what that new phrase is, get that bag. You can't afford me and all this other stuff. Back and forth. And the kids are being brought up in it. So now the kids don't feel like they're worth nothing unless they got a good image on the internet or they got that bag. There's no spirituality. There's no community work. There's no nature, nothing. It's all AI and get the bag. That's what it's about, man. It's pretty sad, actually. It's really sad. I say get out of body and just start slapping people around. Become a ghost and just start smacking people around until they wake up.
Hey, I'm all for it. Just take me out now so I can slap some people around. Let me tell you something. I always wish that I could become a ghost and start changing people's minds on what they're perceiving in reality. And I always say, is reality actually real? Because I can tell you that what Pat just said, I remember growing up as a kid and my dad telling me, he goes, make sure you take out the trash and cut the grass. And I said, well, what about my brother? And he'd say, well, okay, let him cut the grass, you take out the trash. And then every other week you switch it back and forth. I said, fine, no problem. One day, my dad came home and he goes, did you take out the trash? I said, no, I cut the grass this week. He goes, well, who's supposed to take out the trash? He goes, your brother. And I said, well, he didn't take it out. He goes, okay, there's no problem. So I saw my dad taking the trash out down to the curb where the trash guys could take it out, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, I got a date tonight. So I jump in the car and I start going down the driveway and I realize the gas is on empty. I pull up the car back up and said, Dad, the gas is on empty. I need some gas. He goes, yeah, I needed my trash taken out too. Good luck.
Huh.
That's life lessons in taught.
You get what he's saying? He's saying, okay, you know what? I needed something. You didn't do it for me. So now guess what? You don't get to go on your date. So nowadays, the kids just expect something for free and nothing's going to come back to them if we don't put a foot down and start locally. Pat, you're exactly right.
Well, locally is yourself included. I mean, it all starts with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I'm hard on my kids. I'm hard on them, and they don't like me, but that's the way it is.
That's one thing I admire about Joe, man. Joe's been and went and learned all this stuff. He's went, Rosicrucian. He's went into the Golden Dawn stuff. He's done all this. Joe's put more work in than most people. And that shows you, that's why he's got so much damn knowledge. That's why, Joe blows my mind. He is filled with knowledge, man, just knowledge. But that's just it. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be taught.
Yeah.
Instead of telling a kid, hey, you need to learn economics, you need to learn how to, fit in with the beast system. Man, screw that. These schools need to start teaching meditation, exercise, healthy eating. That's how to be a human. That's where the mistake is. Yeah. And people are getting it.
Yeah.
Everybody's going,
and they took that out of the schools. You know what? They took that out of the schools. Why did they do that? That's what's screwing up our kids.
Well, yeah. Well, if you take Night Stalker's example, right? Night Stalker is doing the right thing, right? He's going to work every day.
Yeah.
He's taking care of his mom, and he's trying to find some happiness in his life. And where does he find it? Is it anywhere in his community? No, he can look around, and no one's going to come together, right? No one's going to do anything. So what has to happen is, as Night Stalker, with all the stuff that he has going on in his life, he's going to have to step up and be the leader, or nothing's going to change. And that's the way we should all look at it, right? Like we can't wait around for someone else to fix the problem, right? And it's not going to work. You can't wait around. None of us can wait around. So we only have 70 or 80 years. I don't even know what the average lifespan is anymore, and it goes by quick.
Right.
So what the hell 84. 84, yeah. So Night Stalker spent the majority of his what should be his golden years doing taking care of the people he loves, working a job that he loves. He's trying to express himself. So what he's talking about as far as like the frustration, I think, is what everybody's pointing fingers and blaming shit, is he's the perfect example of, hey, I'm doing the right thing. Who's going to come and lead? Like, who's going to, help us out, you see? Because not everybody can be leaders either. We can't expect everybody to be a leader. Some of us just can't. We've been given lives to take care of other things,
I'm going to step on this, and I may piss people off, but, what it is, we all got our own opinion. But
well, where'd you go?
Yeah, what happened? What is that noise?
Sorry, man. I'm at a factory. My factory.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what I was getting ready to say, and, I am not putting anybody down. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just giving you an example. That's all I'm doing. All I'm about to experience is this. Now, Stalker's doing the right thing, taking care of his mom, taking care of his job, doing all this stuff. Okay? But here's the one thing. It's the little things that you do that are going to give you more. He keeps to himself and keeps to his mom. I mean, you see what I'm saying there? He's got himself in the bubble. Okay, here's my thing. I take care of my mom. I do that. I make money, woodworking when I can, everything else. But here's the thing. The kids next door behind me, their dad wouldn't let them put a garden in their yard. He was like, I don't want my yard messed up. These kids are... So I said something to the kids. I said, hey, if I let you guys put it in my yard, I'll build it. You guys take care of it. And they said, deal. I said, okay, cool. But it's mom and dad. They come out here and I said, here's the deal. You don't want stuff in your yard? I'm going to build it over here. These kids are going to come over here and it's their garden. I don't care. They just need to take care of it because I'm not working. They said, agree. Well, his wife likes to do gardening. So they need to have help. They do good help, But I did that. They knew. All of a sudden, now I've got a garden in my backyard. I don't have to do anything. The kids, they actually go out there and water it, and they'll do, they're kids, they're under 13 years old, so they're not real, uppity and go-getters. But now they're at least learning right now how to grow food. And then they clean it. They bring me bags of spinach and whatever else, carrots. It's cool. I just put 2 apple trees in the front yard. And the deal with the kids are when it starts producing apples, they've got to take care of the tree. They've got to go do that. So do that. That's the little things that you can do in your community, neighbors. with the people you know, anything. If you could go do this stuff anywhere. That's what I'm saying. People always try to think, well, you got to do a whole bunch of people. No, man. Jesus walked around and taught one person at a time. He walked around and went to communities and helped and healed a person at a time. He got bigger and bigger. He started a little bit and kept going. That's all that has to be done. So that's my example about getting out there and, working, things like that mean more than anything. Those kids aren't ever going to grow up, come over here and steal stuff from me or anything else. Right now, they're connected to me. Now they talk to me once in a while and come over here and go, hey, man, I had a rough day. I'm like, hey, what happened? Oh, so-and-so. Hey, live and learn, dude. Take it easy, man. Don't let things stress you out. But that's how you do it. It's building the community. That's the original form of building community. You ain't got to be best friends. You ain't got to be all this stuff. We just help each other. We all got different views. My view is different from a lot of people's. And I accept their views. But I also accept them as a human being above all. And that's what's missing with everything.
So, Pat, Joe, and Gigi, I'm going to ask you a deep question. What is the value of mankind?
What about Jess? Jess is here, right?
I'm here. What is it? What's the value of mankind?
Well,
what do you mean by value?
Well, I have to say, we do have another call-inner. And who art thou, caller? If you're there.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. Yeah, I've never called in to this show, really. So, but I was listening in. This is Jennifer, Missouri.
Okay.
But I was listening in, and it's very interesting. So I think that the thing I wanted to bring up, I like what everybody's saying about, there's just so many different perspectives to, as far as thinking about this. But I kind of think that it looks like what we're seeing on the outside here, when we think about our politics and we think about the way the system is set up and we look at our own lives, it's a reflection on the outside of what's happening underneath the veil, basically. Like, this is everything we're looking at in the world. In the world, like the whole system, even the system, the control grid and everything. It's a reflection of what's happening on the other side of reality. It starts in the inside, the inner world of, like it's
I've been
true.
saying that shit for
Kind of what
years.
Ruth was saying. What Ruth was saying about the inner world, that kind of thing, like your values, I agree with that 100%. But that's what you have, and then it's a reflection of your soul. And the system we're living in too, it's a reflection of the soul of the society, it seems. And Crowley, very interesting. You guys were talking about that, and I wanted to bring something up about that. He was raised in the Plymouth Brethren. His parents were Plymouth Brethren. They're like a evangelical Christian group that popped up at Brooklyn. And I think he was
if you're
actually...
not talking...
Yeah, hold
if
on.
you're not talking, mute yourself.
There's a lot of noise going on in the background. So if you're not talking, could you please mute? That would be most good. Yeah. All right, so let's get back to caller. All right, go ahead.
You hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you. It's just someone's not muting their phone.
Yeah,
and
pretty
they're
much,
making all kinds of
except
racket
for...
right now. It's not me. I'm sitting still.
870, can you mute? Or 818 now, can you mute? All right, now we should be good. All right, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
now we're good. Yeah.
Okay, so Aleister Crowley, his parents were a part of this Plymouth Brethren, and they were this they were solo, just the book. So they were basing their whole thing just off the Bible. Anyway, he was heavily impacted by that. He was raised in it. When he was at Cambridge, And the whole thing is based off of like Revelations, the end of the world, the belief that like they had an end time. It's like a very radical. The world's gonna end. There's gonna be a second coming. This kind of thing. They're basing a lot of it off of that, taking it very literal that way. And you'll see that in all of his. Let me go back. Okay, so when he was at like 22 years old and he went to Cambridge, he was still heavily influenced by the Christian teachings. And you'll see later on too that like all of his rituals, like out of the maggots and all of that, that's Jewish mysticism. Like when he was doing a lot of that magic was to contact, like your guardian angel and all this weird stuff about like the different echelons of the angelic world and reaching the very true depths. If you could meet your guardian angel, for example, you could arrange your inner world differently. When he was at Cambridge, he was introduced to a book, and I think I wrote it down here, The Cloud Upon the Sanctuary. And he said that book inspired him to seek out, because he realized then that he should seek out a secret sect of saints that had understood the deeper message of the gospel. That there was like a logos, because it was a mystic. I can't remember the guy who wrote the book. It was like Eckhart Cauchin or Shushin, whatever. So he does, and he goes on a search for that and takes him to the very depths of his magic. Because the church itself and the religious system and the story, for example, even of Jesus and any religion in the world, it's giving you a surface level to help explain to the common people in a vast mass scale the key, basically, that leads to deeper mysteries. So it's the surface level, the church and all that. It's a reflection of a much deeper message and a mystery religion. All of them are mystery religions underneath it all. So he did. He sought that out. And he did find a lot of very interesting things, I think, that may have or may not have helped himself, but definitely was inspirational to a lot of people. But the thing is that even the church itself, when you look at it, it's the shadow of the truth that's going on beyond the veil. And the way that they act in the different types of dramas we act out every day, I think, even our political system is a reflection of what's happening underneath,
Yeah, I totally agree with that, 100%. The book he read was Karl von Eckartshausen, which A.E. Waite translated some of that book too. But yeah, like if you see the outside world that's all jacked up, and you don't like the way the outside world is, it doesn't matter how many millions of people you look and blame or whatever you blame. The idea of consciousness is to change your inner world. If you change your inner world, you may actually wake up in a different world. The other people may not. We don't know. But the idea is to keep changing your inner world and then spreading the light from inside out, which is what Knox on Pax meant with them. The Luke's energy that Crowley talked about, that the Golden Dawn talked about, the light from within inside you, instead of letting the outside world reflect things upon you. So every day that you wake up and you say, I hate this, or I hate that, or I hate this, there's absolutely nothing you can do other than change yourself. That's the only thing you can do. And then the reflection will begin to change.
Yes, yeah. You are what you make it.
Yeah, and I think it's good.
So, I agree.
Looking with that kind of. Yeah, that's very, and it's interesting to think that, Mathers, McGregor, like all of those magicians that were part of the OTO, a lot of them were Catholic priests, had been in the priesthood, and some people say they were still active priests. So the whole system of magic and everything, even though there are flaws with the systems, clearly, because people are corruptible, and the message is corruptible because it's open to interpretation. And once you take that into yourself and it's through that filter of whatever your soul is, you're going to interpret it with your the types of circumstances you've seen yourself in, and you're going to interpret it through your own experiences. You know. But anyway, yeah, it's a good show. I'm enjoying listening to it, and I just wanted to call in and say something, you know, and visit for a minute. But thank you so much, and like listening. I enjoy listening.
Thanks for saying it. That's really cool.
An extremely intelligent caller. Extremely intelligent caller. I loved her.
Oh, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh, thank you very much,
call.
Jennifer. Yes, thank you. We were just laughing at Elfman
Pat.
and what he said.
Freaking Pat.
what he wrote on a piece of paper. Yeah.
I saw that. It was making me laugh. I was going to say something and I had to mute because of what Pat was doing.
Yeah, we were not laughing at you, Jennifer. We were laughing at.
Can I tell them what the sign said?
Yeah, absolutely.
It said it all of a sudden. Elf's camera opens and there's just a piece of paper that says "GG sucks" on it, and he just starts laughing.
Right.
That's.
What are y'all on Zoom or something? Or
yes.
No, we're on Skype. And yeah, you know that's.
Well, think about what she's saying though. Like, if there was a real multiverse, right? Yeah, and let's just say, for instance, there is a multiverse. And and I've always thought about this, like when you discharge your energy, which is basically sleeping, and you wake up again, we all believe that we're waking up in the same planet, same place, same time, same people. But what if we were all like in multiple planets, multiple locations, doing the same thing, doing the same stories in the universe, and based upon our choices and what we do inside us is the world that we wake up in the next time we wake up. Right, based on our beliefs, our feelings, and our actions, and say the tools of the magician is the world that we wake up in next. Even though we all think it's just this one place.
Yeah, like what if, right, when you're manifesting something or trying to make a change in your life, and you're just slowly shifting through these different realities or multiverses, right, until you kind of get to that one that hits that vibration of what you're trying to manifest.
Yeah, I mean, if we lived in a utopia, like if we lived in a utopia, half of these fucking people wouldn't know what to do with themselves. You literally have nothing to complain about. That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
There's, and Robert Monroe talked about, I think in his second or third book, where he went to this planet where the people were so adept into their consciousness that they could change the weather. Everything that happened on the earth was because of what was inside of them, and it was backwards. Their bodies weren't the main thing. Their astral bodies, their consciousness was, and they used their bodies strictly for experience, kind of like the Garden of Eden. Nobody wore clothes or nothing, right? Like it was just an experience, so to speak. And they would leave their bodies under trees to rest, and they'd go back to them when they were ready. Sounds pretty rad. I gotta go to that place.
It does kind of sound like this a heaven-like place, I guess, where you can it's just like this beautiful place.
Yeah, but, I mean, I like Crowley and all, too. Crowley took the mysteries. That's a whole other thing. There's stuff I like about that dude, and then there's other stuff I do not, so.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's some things you take with you, and some things you kind of just spare aside from what he does. But man, book 4, I don't know if you ever read book 4. Pretty interesting book, especially the first part of it. Very interesting indeed. So let's see. Who all do we still have on here?
Whoa, what? Did we lose you there?
No, we've got you. Absolutely. And then we've got, I think, is Scott still here?
Dude, I gotta hang up. This is starting to sound like a time warp in here.
Okay. Yeah, well, we've only got about 15 minutes left. So, if you want to hang out,
I'm
very
back.
cool.
I'm back. So you can finish the hour, and I'll do an hour or whatever, if you want.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and just wrap out the hour. Somebody's in their car, obviously.
You there?
I am here, yes. What's happening?
Okay, so let me get back to my original question here.
Okay.
What is the value of mankind?
Joe, do you want to take that one?
Did Joe leave already?
I don't think so. Oh, he might have left. Yeah,
he might have left. He did say he was home.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think he left. Yeah, actually. Then who's the other person? Who is this?
Pat.
Well, yeah, but who's the other person?
Scott.
Oh, Scott. Yeah. Okay.
No,
so we're back to Scott and Jeff.
Here.
Okay. So I think that question was for Elfman, right?
Well, you can go. I'll tell you what. We'll do all three. How about Jan, UGG, and Elfman? I've been searching for this answer my entire life. What is the value of mankind?
But I don't understand what you mean by value. Do you mean what's our ultimate goal, or do you mean like what our?
Yeah. Why are we here? What are we doing? What is this all about?
It's all about learning, about growing the soul. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's basically it. We're here to learn. Like Joe said earlier, man, the ultimate thing is to find, I guess, heaven. But you're going to be so bored, most people are bored because they're going to want to, experience. So maybe I used the wrong word. Knowledge might not be it. Experience may be the word I'm looking for as far as a value. That's our goal, is to experience.
And you've got some people, Pat, that don't believe in heaven. You've got atheists. So what is their goal?
Well, their goal's the same. They're going through an experience. They're going through the experience of separation from the source, God, themselves, whatever you want to. Everybody looks at things different. We all, it's a different perspective and a different, acceptance of what's beyond it. But they're searching too. Don't kid yourself. I've got friends that are atheists, diehard atheists, man. I mean, they make fun of me, and I make fun of them. But the bottom line is, those are the same people who, when something does happen, that sets them on board.
Yeah, I agree. But you'd have to ask yourself, amongst us friends here, you look at the human anatomy. Well, that's a grand design. That's not something that is poofed out of nowhere. Something designed the human anatomy. And you can't deny that.
I agree 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
I think most of it is people have a hard time accepting the experience because they just want to be kind of, held. I don't know how to say it. They just want to be kept in a box. They're comfortable with no experience. But, mine is experience. Jess, what's yours?
I guess learning and valuing, I guess, the people and the things you love in your life.
You know what? She might be right. It might be all that we have. We're only here for 80 years.
Exactly.
84. And you can only experience your grandparents, maybe great-grandparents, maybe your children, the loved ones that you have close to you. And your soul's developing as we grow. And maybe as we die, the collective experience goes into one big jar, which goes into the next phase of humanity. I don't really know. But I can tell you this much. At the age of 10, I started looking at stuff and answering questions, and I couldn't get asking questions, could never get the answers to my questions. And I never understood why I could not get them. And it hurt me deeply, cut me really bad. And I'm now 59 years old, and I've been pretty much all over this world as a rocker, and I still am traveling, trying to find all of those answers. And it's a pleasure talking to all of you.
And it's a pleasure talking to you, too.
All about the experience, Scott. That's cool. Gigi, what's yours?
What's the question again? I forget the exact question.
The value of man's existence.
The value of man's existence. Wow. I think it's the level of value is probably what we make of it, really. I don't think there's any objective answer to that question. It depends on what you make of it, really. You know, some people would say it depends entirely on that. Whereas I know quite a few other people that would say that it doesn't matter at all about that, and that things are just going to happen anyway. So I'm going to plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
You know what? And
1, 2, 3, 4,
that
fifth.
is an interesting answer. Coming from my partner in crime, Gigi.
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
Unbelievable, man. That's a great answer.
Yeah, you know, it depends on where you're coming from, you know. I know people that come from both sides, and I'm so lost, I don't even know where I'm coming from. So, how about that?
Perception runs deep in everybody's hearts and minds and souls.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed. And,
so let me ask one more question here. Where did Pat get his knowledge on biblical stuff so much? I'm so impressed at what he's got to say about Cain and Abel and all the mysteries of the Bible. Did he read about this, or did he just come across it amongst his own?
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's from reading stuff, the Bible. It's. I know this is going to sound odd, but dude, a lot of my stuff I just sit, and it's more like meditation that I do. I just, you know, you kind of ask for the answers, and you're going to get them. When you ask for them, pick that book up, start thumbing through it, you're going to get your answers. You know, the answers are all.
Yeah.
You've got to program yourself to find them.
My son is deeply religious, and I bought the Book of Enoch for him to read. And he tossed it aside. And I started reading it, and I was like really tripped out. And I'm like, why did they take all these books out? You know, the Bible, and was it who was it that took them all? That was at the Quest of Alexandria. What was that took them all out of there?
Yeah,
the Council. What they were going to keep and what.
The Council of Nicaea, right?
Yeah, that's the Council of Nicaea is the one that did it.
Yeah. And
so who decided to keep them in, to take them out? Who? I mean, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just leave it as it existed in reality?
Because back then, you got to remember, nowadays you can go over there and, you know, you can copy this stuff down, print it out of a machine. Back then, they were having to write it, and back then scribes were, you know, 1 in a million, you know. I mean, not everybody knew how to read and write, so you only had so many scribes that were writing these Bibles.
Now, so are all the scribes available today that you could get off the internet, or they do not exist?
Oh yeah. There's definitely transcripts on the internet, especially the Gospel of Thomas. Just look that up on. I mean, I'd hate to say it, but Google. Yeah, you can just look it up on Google, and.
But all of them exist. They didn't disappear. They're all there, right?
They're all there are so many books. You know what? You know what, Scott? I am going to send you a fantastic presentation that Greg Braden gave. And during the presentation, he shows all of the books that were left out of the official Bible that we read today. And I'm going to send you that link after the show. After the show, I will send you that link. Yeah, I think not only will you love that part, I think you will love the whole presentation Greg Braden, one of the best people on the planet. We've actually had him on the show once before, and hopefully we have him on again. But
just remember those writings, though, that they say, you know, this is all the stories that we have in the Bible. That's the case. Throughout the world, there was other, you know, Jesus walked all around the world. You know, he went a lot of places. So there's other stuff out there that is still related to the Bible. There's more books in the Bible, but I guarantee you they're in Hindi, whatever. They're in different languages.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
funny.
yeah, the Dead Sea Scrolls are just the ones that were found, you know?
Right. Take all the old books and put them together. That's when we would start getting our answers. But the other thing is,
Do you feel as though
some research, man. I'll tell you something to do. I don't know the website. You'd have to look for it. But there is Sumerian tablets. You can go online, and there's a college, I think, that has it. And you can go on there, and it will decipher the tablets because they got so many tablets and stories wrote in cuneiform that they never even... I mean, let's say, hypothetically, there's 50,000 of them. We've only got 55,000 of them that they've actually got, translated. So you can go on there and translate, and they'll actually keep it. But anyway, that is something interesting. You go start looking into all those old stories of Sumeria, and it'll blow your mind. There's a lot of knowledge.
I've also heard the Sumerian tablets have been deciphered incorrectly. I don't know if that's true or not, but my question would be Jesus be from this world or not of this world? What do you think?
Good question.
I didn't hear you. What did he say?
Was Jesus of this world or not of this world?
Yeah, is Jesus of this world or not of this world?
Well, it's real simple, man. He had a human body, didn't he? He was in this world just like the rest of us. Remember, he even said that we're going to do better works than him. That's what people misunderstand, man. He talked and told you everything. He told everybody, hey, you're all going to be able to heal. Matter of fact, I mean, you can think whatever, but the 12 disciples walked around and healed people also. He taught them how to do that. He was a teacher. But at some point in time, the student's going to surpass the teacher. And he knew that. To me, it's common sense. It might not be to most people, but to me, I look at it as common sense. It's common, Master is always going to be outdone by his predecessor, by his, that's the whole goal of it, to keep going and building more.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
It makes my heart grin and smile at the same time that you say that. It just makes me feel great inside when you say something like that. It really does.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We have to wrap this up. We are out of time. I mean, shift. We've gone an hour overtime, and first time ever on Shift Happens, a 3-hour show.
Yay.
Fantastic. And
buddy, it was so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Scott. And yeah, Scott, once I wrap up the show, it's going to take me about half an hour to an hour, but I'm going to send you a link to Greg Braden's presentation over in Spain, where he talks about. Yeah, you're going to love it, my friend.
Pat was at the entire show here. He made me do it.
Nice. Yeah, no, Pat's the best. Elfman is absolutely the best. So real quick, before we let everybody go, Scott, where, if you care to mention, where can everybody follow you?
Oh, awesome.
Say that again?
Where, if people want to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me on the Twitter, The Rocker.
So it's just at The Rocker?
It's just The Rocker.
Just at The Rocker.
No, it's The Rocker. Twitter.
Okay. Well, there we go. And then Elfman, most people probably already follow you, but just in case, where can people follow you, Elfman?
Anywhere there's a package of Oreos being opened, dude, I'll be there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, and our special surprise guest tonight was Jess Rogie. Jess, where can everybody follow you?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Escape the Simulation Radio, or search Jess Rogie and you should be able to find me. Thank you so much for having me, Gigi.
Yeah, this was fun, and if you guys want to hang out after the show, just stay right there, and as we play the credits and the music, and we'll be hanging out right afterwards. Or if you have to boogie, that's all good too. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been... Oh yeah! Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM. The show has been hosted and produced by yours truly, Gigi. Associate producer is Brad Harris. You can follow Brad Harris over on Twitter at ADS Brad Harris. Co-host is usually JP. You can follow him at Reperceptions, although he was not here tonight. Jess Rogie was here. She just told you where to follow her. And of course, as always, all blames and faults go to Fran. Yes, that's right. Hashtag Fran's fault. All right, thanks, folks. Thanks for tuning in. But don't go too far, because coming up next, well, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure if Joe is doing his show. Usually he does his show after mine. But I would stay tuned to the Fringe FM anyway, because there's more great programming coming your way. All right, folks. We'll see you back next week with Michael Strange right here on Shift Happens on the Fringe FM. All right, folks. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next week. Cheers to ya! Yes!